Bigger Sandman, what's up? One. Hit the live button, Boxer. Hey, it's live right now, right? Let me see where what's up? Ario Rosa, Empire David. That's right, boy. End Zone, Familia M the Great, Juan Lozano, Manuel Martinez. Not one Garcia. Empire David. Sparky Buff. What's cracking, man? Waiting for Jerry. What's up, Robert G? And then gonna wait for Josh. Fraylin was cracking, man, on this Friday night. It's hot as a motherfucker, man. What's up, Anaru? Motherfucking dog was eating my fucking plant, bro. You know what I'm talking about, man. Motherfucking dog's high as a motherfucker right now. Bastard. You remember what I showed you earlier, right, Sandman? I caught one of my dogs, man. Yeah. That motherfucker was chowing down on my shit, bro. Lucky I caught his motherfucking ass, man. Where you at, Jerry? You need the link? I sent you There's the link right there, Jerry. Sharpest Art TV, what's up, man? Itachi L. Can you do a profile on Silver? Where's Silver? Is Silver's from pretty sure he's from Farmerville. It's from Farmerville, Tulare County. But yeah, I can run something on Silver, man. Oh, here we go. The man of the hour right there. Yeah, I see you, boy.
So, man.
What's up, man?
Yeah, I was trying to text you. You weren't getting the texts on the phone.
Nah, you was texting me right now.
Yeah, I was telling you to put it on the comments. Put the link in the comments.
Oh shit! I didn't even hear my phone, man.
Yeah,
I sent you the text the other way, the link the other way too.
Oh, okay.
What's up, Caesar?
You sent it on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, I need it on my computer.
Castellanos. Josh gonna jump on too, man.
Yeah, I was listening to a little bit of what you had last night. Yeah, you were saying, Jerry, you there? Shoot, I was watching the Warriors and I fell back asleep. Yeah.
Hey, the Warriors did that shit, man.
Hell yeah, they did. Hell yeah, they came back and did that shit.
Yeah.
They had a lot of doubters.
As always, man.
Yeah, a lot of haters out there.
What's up, Timo? Everlasting Base. I hope you guys got your questions down, man.
Hey, so your dog she started chewing on your plants, huh?
Man, bro. I was checking them out earlier, and there was a couple of them that looked like they got chewed up, man. And so I've been kind of watching them, man. And I looked over the fucking the little banner that I got, and the motherfucker was chomping, bro. So I had to throw up a little doggy, one of them little doggy gates.
Yeah.
And block them motherfuckers off, bro.
Oh, okay.
You know, dogs, when they get an upset stomach, man, they'll eat anything green, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's like what is it? Like mint to them.
Yeah. Al A said, Jerry, you smoke Yeska?
I used to. I quit about 10 months ago, but I was smoking Esco all my life.
Yeah.
I can't even see the comments.
You can't see him?
Let me see. Oh, yeah, there they are. Okay, I see him now. What's up, big figures? Sandman. Sandman to everybody. Dang, there's a lot of people on.
Sparky Buff, I'm doing my thing, homie. What's up, Maxine?
Let's go, Maxine. Man, there's a lot of people on here already.
Getting there. There's like 60 of them in there right now. You broke YouTube, man, that first night, boy.
Yeah. A lot of people want to see.
Oh yeah, that's
what's real.
Yeah.
You know, anybody has a story, you know, just like, and I was thinking earlier, right? I was like, damn, how do I fit all this information in like a 2-hour, 3-hour session, right? And I'm like,
no
man,
way.
That's like 30-something years of my life. Almost 40 years of my life. My whole damn life.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, there's no way you can fit it in. I mean, you can get little increments, like, say I did something, but it's just like, you can't go into detail.
Yeah. Steve. So what's going on today, man?
Nothing, man. I skipped NA, so it's just like I skipped it. Then I'll go tomorrow.
They got you going to those classes?
No, I go on just a regular basis. You know, just pop up here and there. Yeah, either catch it online or catch it over there. You know, but the COVID, man, they had things all tore up. Yeah. So where we had to go on that Zoom.
That's right, Sam, bro. Get out that hospital, homeboy. I'll be waiting for you, my boy.
Yeah. Let's see. Man.
So
names I can't even see. I mean, names I don't recognize. Because I went on Josh's channel. When was it? Last night. He was talking about.
Yeah, he told me you were over there.
Yeah, he was talking about somebody, some lady deal with rehabilitation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about CDCR. CDCR is a joke, bro. Mm-hmm. I fought him. I fought him plenty of times. It's just like I had arguments with the stinking warden right there on the basketball court at Mule Creek. He was there and moved me out. I said, "So what? Move me. I'm still gonna sue your ass regardless." I go, "You're still gonna get sued if you move me. If you don't, you're still gonna get sued." You guys, all them dudes, man. They were just like trying to hate. They didn't want me at their prison because over there, yeah. Well, any prison, right? It's just like I was limited to the certain prisons I went to. So if it wasn't handicap prison, handicap designated or ADA designated, I wasn't going to be there. So it was either Corcoran. Let's see, what was it? Corcoran. No, SADF.
SADF.
Yeah, and all these newer prisons. Like what was it? What was the other one? High Desert. I ain't about to go to High Desert because they won't even send me to the Bay.
So there's no rehabilitation in prison. Hell no, everlasting base. That shit's a sham, man.
I think the rehabilitation came in when they said, "Okay, we'll feed you guys chicken." That's our rehabilitation. We had to rehabilitate ourselves, you know, because they weren't getting no stinking sponsors coming. They weren't getting nobody. So what we did was we created groups on our own. Yeah, there's no. I don't know when that came into effect. CDCR. That was a joke.
Mm-hmm.
California Department of Confusion. Smokey, which one? Big Smoke?
From Salinas?
Smokey from Salinas.
He was over there in I know he's over there in Mill Creek for a minute. I don't know if it was when you were there, but he was homeboy, he was some kind of facilitator over there, man. They had a class
Oh yeah,
over there.
Smokey.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was on AR. Yeah,
So
yeah.
what was he doing? What
He
was
was
he
a
doing?
facilitator
He was
because we were all facilitators. Yeah, CGA, Criminals Gang Members Anonymous. But
mm-hmm.
they, level 4, they're idiots. It's just like off the
Yeah.
hook. And okay, put that gang mentality inside some politics, like
Mm-hmm.
say a group. You get 14 facilitators, right? So you got all these facilitators, and I mean, a lot of people want to be the chief with no Indians, right? So
Yeah.
these guys are fighting for, I want to be the president, I want to be the vice president, I want to do this. Put that on a level 4 politic yard. Oh man, somebody's gonna get stabbed. Especially a lifer with the LWAP, right? He ain't got nothing coming, but he wants to give him the presidency. He ain't got nothing else, give him the presidency. But you got people that hate, and they just want, they want to have it for themselves. Well, that dude, Smokey was running it. I remember Smokey running it because we would meet out in the visiting room, the level 3 and then level 4 A yard and B yard. We'd meet out there and C yard also before when they became SNY, because that Suge Knight was there before. But anyway, all 3 yards used to meet in the visiting room. So we used to kick it, talk, cut it up, because we didn't see homies for, because they were level 4. They were always locked down. Well, anyway, politics came into effect, and Smokey got involved with the facilitating and everything like that. But long story short, that dude with the LWAP ended up sticking one of the members of CGA, because he couldn't become president. So he took matters in his own hand, and his old way of beliefs that, I'm not a punk and this and that. And that's all you got to do is put that past you. And they had hit up, I mean, they were in a visiting room and they were talking shit to each other. And I was just like, this ain't good. This ain't going to end well. And they ended up, that dude ended up sticking them. But Smokey was behind all that. And Smokey, I think he ended up going to a level 3 afterwards. Because there was a lot of dudes.
He got out.
Smokey did?
Yeah, I got his number, bro. He was supposed to come on here.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he was gonna. Yeah, when I first got in touch with him, man, like he kind of went through similar situation with you, man. He ended up because he had life.
Yeah.
And he was doing a life sentence, bro. And he went and did all them programs, and then he started doing that. He was facilitating over there in Mill Creek. And he went to board, and they fucking cut him loose, bro. They kicked him out. They gave him a kick, bro. So when I told him about this, the channel, man, he was like, yeah, no, it's good, man. Just give me a little bit to let me acclimate, get back out here, right?
Yeah.
But then he ended up hooking up. He ended up hooking up with a female, and then he was like, bro, I do it, homie, but right now, I'm just, man, it's kind of a situation with her, and because of my circumstance, hey, I got you, bro. Don't trip. Don't even trip. You know what I mean? There ain't no pressure, homie. Whenever you're ready, if you're not ready, it's all good, man. Just stay tapped in, man.
Yeah, because
but he's out there doing his thing.
It's hard, bro, getting out from a life sentence, coming out, because you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
First, you're in there, you're saying, I'm gonna do all day long. I ain't getting out. I remember my sponsor, he had a couple of murders like me, and he was like, Jerry, they're not gonna let me and you out, because he did my 4-step, and it was just like, bro, he goes, we're done. He goes, we're done. They're gonna look at us, and they're just we're examples, and they finally let him out on a he was an MF member, but they let him out on a compassionate release, and he died that day. They let him out, but he was a good dude. Richard Mexico. Yeah, he was a good dude. But anyway, he ended up passing away.
That's good, man.
Yeah, he ended up passing away. He passed away in his wife's arms. He said he went down the coast, and then he said he had some ice cream, and they were laying in their living room. He said, man, that is good. Mm-hmm. And he goes, freedom's good, and he died right there. Yeah. He had Hep C.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what he died from?
Yeah, Hep C. Yeah. There's a lot of people that died. Perico, Jerry Salazar. Yeah, he died. He died back of me in the canteen. He was getting his canteen and just like he fell out. And I was just like, what the hell? But he didn't die right there. He died in the
Just fell out.
Yeah, he fell out. And we were wondering, what the hell? Because he didn't tell nobody he was sick that bad. But they sent him to the infirmary. Next thing you know, he's dead. Yeah. Oh, Perico.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, just like you give all that time to him, man, and just like they never. We thought they would never give us out, let us out, because what was that? Gray Davis, he went on TV and said, "Hey, you got life, expect to do life. I don't care what you guys."
And I thought Gray Davis was cool at one time.
Yeah. Just like he was a piece of crap. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's a piece of crap too. All of them were pieces of crap. The only one that gave us justice was Brown. Yeah, Brown came into the picture, and he looked out. But other than that, man, it's just like they weren't giving us any kind of justice.
Yeah, I know, man. Since seems like within the last 10 years, man, I've seen them. They've kicked out a lot of lifers, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was one of the first ones to get kicked out, in 2013. And it just so happened that I went to the board at the right time. And when I went to board, it's just like you're going in there with the expectation of never getting out of prison. You just got to give it your all. And that's what I did. I gave it my all, explained everything to them, saying, hey, about Sheila, about chocolate. That's why a lot of people were saying, don't say anything on here. I said, man, I got to say it to the board because they take that stuff, whatever's in writing, they take it as the Bible. It's just like you're gonna have to explain that. Nothing that the gang made me do it, nothing like that. It's just like,
no, it's probably because you show some remorse, bro. I know what they don't like is when motherfucker goes up there and they don't do themselves no good when they just go up there and be like, I'm innocent, man. You know what I mean? I didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? I'm locked up, been locked up for 20-something years for something I didn't do. They ain't trying to hear that. They want to hear somebody go in there and be like, I feel bad for what I did, man. It's something I'm gonna have to live with for the rest. Show some remorse, man. That's what they're looking for, man. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's they're looking for, empathy. It's just like, that's a key word is empathy. Put yourself in the other person's shoes, or the family, their shoes. And I'm lucky that the victim's family never showed up because Sheila's family was all in there right there at Saturday. They were all in that area. So I kind of figured they were going to show up, but luckily they didn't. I would have been through. Yeah. Because you can't fight against family. It's just
man.
You can't. Not with their
them coming up giving those victim impact statements.
Yeah, you can't. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way.
Local.
It's fortunate for me that I didn't have that family there, but it's just like, but like I said, I had to wait 2 years before I got out because I still owe time. So it's just like they weren't going to just let me out right there, and you got to wait for the governor. That's the thing. Is just like they toy with you because they give you a date at the Board of Prison Terms, and then you got to go before the governor, and he has every right to deny you the day before. You're supposed to find out. So that's a toy with your head. So it's just like an emotional wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went before him, twice before Governor Brown, and then he just refused to look at my case. So I was just like, man, ooh, dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna give him nothing to deny me on. I was like, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, there was a lot of questions on here earlier.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of questions in the comments on that live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lucky Local wanted to know if you were Native American.
No, well, I guess I am. My grandpa was from Utah, so I was just like, I think he is. He used to sing all them like Native songs and stuff.
Lucky Loco, man. Unfortunately, man, I heard about what's going on with you and your business. The restaurant. Apparently, it's not. Things ain't working out right now as far as the restaurant, and that you guys got a GoFundMe page or something like that, man. If Sandman, if you or somebody, you guys want to put the link up or something, man, we'll put it up for you, Lucky Local, and we'll try to do what we can to help you too, man. Homeboy got a restaurant, and he's been running it for a while, man. It's a family-owned business. Since I've known him, the restaurant was doing good.
Yeah.
But apparently they're on a downward slope right now. Maybe they're just hopefully it's just a slump they're in, man. But
what kind of restaurant?
You got overhead, and if you ain't getting enough business coming in, you're paying that overhead with your out your pocket, you know what I mean? Out of your savings and shit. Pretty soon it's like, man.
That's why a lot of people took that hit.
We're gonna have to shut it down.
That's why a lot of people took that hit on what you call it, on COVID when that hit. Yeah, a lot of people took that hit. It's just like a lot of restaurants, they went into they had to shut down.
That's right, Raider Nation.
I can see the comments now.
Lupe, what's up, boy? Amber goes up from Hampshire here. Hampshire and Frisco.
Yeah.
Sheila and Ragosa.
Yeah, it sucks because you put your whole family, I mean, from generations inside a restaurant, and just where it fell, man, it sucks. You know.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, it's inflation, brother.
The way this world's going, you know, speaking gas, whoever thought gas could go up that much?
Yeah, we raffled off a bunch of gas cards, man, to try to help you know, shit. Can't help the world. We try to help, you know, as many people as we can, man. You know.
Yeah. Oh, Sandman.
That's why you have to be careful when you're expanding a business. A catering truck isn't as flashy as a brick and mortar restaurant, but it's a lot safer financially. Yeah, man, most definitely. Rich DM 650, what's up, man?
Yeah, I know how to cook too. I know how to cook tamales, tortillas, everything. I know how to cook good. Yeah, I made some tamales Christmas. Man, they came out bomb. I made some green ones, the red ones, and the chili. I mean the cheese. Oh yeah, they were bomb.
Shit, when you come out here, man, you're gonna have to most definitely gonna have to hook it up, boy.
Yeah, I was on dozens. I was like, yeah. I was like, one of the homeboys told me, man, you should get a cooking channel. He goes, I'll back you.
My heifer said that in the 70s there was a gas shortage, but I think that was just a test run for today's current gas. Hey man, it's inflation for real, man. We're in a recession right now.
It's a deficit for real.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Clover 28? East Lopes in the house.
Yeah.
Fresno's finest. Josh should be in there in a minute.
Yeah.
Instead of 100 billion for Ukraine.
I like his channel.
Man, most definitely.
Yeah,
sending out 100 billion for Ukraine. We're struggling over here.
Yeah, that don't make no sense. You know, because you're paying like the Middle East to give us gas when we got our own refineries here. You know, come on. We got our own oil here. You know, just like anybody could see that.
What's up, Mike Bristol? Yeah, I'll mention this later on. when more people come in here, man. But for those of you guys that like to follow Baby Joker, Reels TV is gonna be airing a segment on Baby Joker and Baby Joker's his whole case, man. You guys might want to check it out. It's gonna be coming on June 22nd on a show that's called, I think it's called America's Gangsters Most Evil, or something like that. America's Most Evil Gangsters. Just go on Reels TV and look for it comes on June 22nd, man. I barely caught the tail end of it. The homeless population is exploding everywhere. Yeah.
I was gonna put up that picture later. I mean, later on into this, put up that picture I showed you the other day.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Homeboy said, "Can you make Mexican rice pudding?"
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. White people call it tapioca.
Tapioca, yeah.
Yeah, they call it tapioca. It's just Havana.
The inflation is hurting a lot of families, man. But of course, good old Uncle Sam still sending money over to the countries. We are hurting. Poor leadership is a big burden. All of it, yeah, most definitely. Big figures, man. It don't make no sense, man. But it's all politics. Is because it benefits them in other ways, man. It's all about that money, man.
Let me show a couple of people my artwork.
Make no mistake about it. By design, they want to bring us to our knees. Yeah. Where you at, Josh? I dropped that link right there. Did all these bad tariffs? They are showing down. Yeah, they can't even get baby formula. Yeah, hey, that's his artwork right there. You guys, look at that shit. They can't appreciate it looks like a fucking picture, man.
You can't appreciate it.
Put over, yeah, look at that shit. Damn, bro. How long did it take you to do something like that?
Shoot, it took me like about a couple of days.
Come over a little bit. Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Oh, that's just pencil.
Who's this white dude with the baseball cap?
Hey, Vato.
Hey, what's up, Josh? What's up, Josh?
What's up, Jerry? Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, brother. Nice to meet you. You got your derby hat on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was just showing them some of my drawings.
I was seeing that.
Look at that, man.
Wow.
Hey, when you see it up close, though, bro, it looks like fucking a picture. It looks like glass, homie.
That's just saying the contrast, right? With the fingers going over it, the hands going over it. That's amazing.
I haven't finished the hands, but the thing is with graphite, you can use your eraser as your tool. Always use your eraser as your tool because no matter how dark you go, whatever, use paintbrushes for your darks. Because if not, you're gonna smudge it. Because I used to use toilet paper in prison, but toilet paper just takes up the lead. So you have a lot of tools that you could use, like a lot of tools for your artwork. You know, and mechanical pencils. I like a lot of mechanical pencils, the erasers, the click erasers, because you can get that detail for your hair and stuff like that. Just know how to work it.
Right.
Yeah, and make your own tools. I used to, because I put my pressure on with my hand. Man, it's just like. But when you put your pressure, all your lead is right here.
Right.
Yeah. But I have like colored pencil drawings. Man, I make them look so real because I use Prisma. I make them look like oil.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of people in there, they were like, damn. They used to come out with big old frames, everything.
Right.
And I used to donate a lot of them to Operation Care, abused women and children. So
okay.
Yeah. So a lot of the proceeds went to, just helping kids.
Right.
So, yeah.
No, that's incredible. I when I was coming up in juvenile hall, I used to draw a lot, right? And I thought I was good. You know what I mean? And so I would draw, and I would get little stuff for snacks, whatever, and then even on the streets, I would draw a little bit, but I was a little kid, and people would blow smoke. Like, oh yeah, man, that's badass, this and that. And so I was thinking when I came to prison, it's cool. I'm gonna draw, and then I'm gonna learn how to tattoo, right? And I came to prison, and a homeboy showed me a paño that he had drawn with a pen, and it was fucking beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, never mind. I don't draw then. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I thought I was an artist, and then I came in here and I looked around and I was like, all right,
Yeah, that's exactly what Boxer said. He goes, hey, I ain't not even gonna show my artwork.
Right.
When I send him my artwork,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna show mine.
That makes my shit look like cartoon, like chicken scratch, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Just over the years, you just learn. Like you said, I picked it up when I first went in the 80s, and because I was in the hole all the time. So what I did was I get newspapers. I try to draw like the negligee shots and stuff like that. I try to just draw picture for picture, and it's just like so I started learning how to draw. But I had a teacher in prison, and he told me, hey, draw upside down, like put your source upside down and put your drawing upside down, and don't draw an eye, don't draw an ear, don't draw what you think you see, draw what you see. If you see a shadow covering your eye, it's not an eye, it's a shadow. So it's just like, it's a shape, it's a pattern, so I was like, oh, okay. So he taught me that little technique, drawing upside down. I was just like, okay, I'm not drawing a person, I'm just drawing the shape and the pattern. So it helped me out a lot, man.
Yeah,
helped me out to see things. Yeah.
Wolf Commander, how you doing, Valeria? Yeah, do the cover of my book, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, just like I can. That's what I said. I've been drawing for years and years, and it comes easy to me.
Yeah.
A lot of people kick back and they look at me like, "Damn, Jerry,
you might be an imposter, Valeria. I got to make sure that's the real you before I rent you back up."
Yeah, it's funny because I know a couple people that are artists, and I've seen them draw like that. I've seen them like when they do portraits, and even when they do portraits for tattoos and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I've seen them do it upside down. Have the piece that they're drawing upside down.
Yeah.
And I've seen it saved, like looking at videos sometimes of artists and stuff. But I never had anybody explain it. I never asked my homeboys because then sometimes you don't want to ask a question because you feel dumb, right? So I was just like, oh yeah, that's badass. I don't know why he does it. So that makes sense what you're saying though, right? It breaks that tendency to want to jump ahead. Oh, I know what I'm doing, right? As opposed to just make a copy of what you're doing. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Yeah, just
like I said, he's on another level, man. Mike Bristol.
For real. Yeah. Well, I gotta put the hat back up. People hate it.
Gotta put the derby hat back on. Should be wearing a warrior hat.
Yeah, you know what?
The notification. That's YouTube, man.
Yeah.
YouTube still ain't giving out notifications, man. That's why you guys gotta check the community. That's why we try to post what time we're gonna usually go on Big Moose. Usually we're always gonna go on in the evening. So sometimes, man, just check the community, and there's usually a post up there if we're gonna go live, man.
Give
me 1 second, real quick. 1 second.
All right. You're 1 second up. I said, give me 1 second. One. It's that time. Let's see.
Don't want to smear the drawings. Got the Inner Demons coming out tonight too. Sandman's gonna release it after this live right here, you guys. Yeah, that's pure talent right there, man.
Yeah.
Some people, man, they try to learn how to draw, but they just don't got the talent to do it, man. It's a lot of patience too, man.
Yeah. And that's what it is patience. Because, I've ripped up so many drawings like I just did this one a portrait from a homeboy. His son
Looking
died.
out shadow.
Yeah, his son died, and I did a big old portrait, and I wanted to do it all lines, no paintbrushes, no smearing, no nothing, just all lines. So I did. He had 3 daughters, and I did 3 angels on top, and then I did him. He had a California hat. I got the California down and everything. It's just like, let me see if I got it right here. There we go.
Yeah, for sure, Mike Bristol. You just can't do it on StreamYard. When we're on the, I don't think you can do it when you can't wrench nobody up on StreamYard. It's gotta be on YouTube.
Only on YouTube.
I got you though, Mike.
Here's one. Yeah, I don't have.
Oh, that's what you went to go. You want to bang? You want to bang that?
I rep my shit. I mean, I was repping my shit with the derby hat, but hey, I had my people so confused. In reality, I had to go open up the Instapot, man, because my lady and I are shuffling dinner at the same time as this. I was unprepared.
How's she doing, man?
She's doing a little bit better today than yesterday. It's a roller coaster, you know.
Yeah.
And so, but we got a lot of paperwork to do today for her work, and it's just a lot, man. But yeah, my dog Blue was going crazy because I'm watching the game last night, and I'm sitting on the couch like this, and I'm watching, and then I'm hopping and I'm clapping, and I'm like, "Get that shit, what?" And he's hopping up, looking around like, "What's going on?" It's playtime. And so, yeah, man.
I know they did that shit.
Hey, that's because my head grows, Timo. It's a snapback, but it's because my head grows.
Oh, here's one.
Can't do it, Chupa, not on StreamYard. It's got to be on YouTube. I got you guys, though, man.
Wow.
It's crazy, man. Look at the fucking couch, bro.
Yeah.
He's got like every little detail, man.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
So
were you looking at something? Good looking out, Empire Dave. Dave, hit that like button, home one.
Yeah, you definitely can make money, and that's what I told Boxer. I go, you know, one of these days I'll raffle my drawings off. Couple of my drawings off.
Damn, you guys hear that shit?
I'll hop on that one.
Yeah.
Homeboy's gonna raffle off some of his drawings, man. That's crazy.
$100 tickets.
Yeah. That's right. Soccer in the house. What's up, Jose Vega?
Valeria, it depends. It depends on how much I charge for portraits. It depends. I just did one. You know, I usually for a big one, like $250. You know, that's a huge 18 by 24. And I have it matte, framed, everything. So it's just like.
Boy wants to know if you ever airbrushed on cars.
No, I have some airbrush I just got. So it's just like I used to airbrush in there. I used to airbrush like little cards and like little Santas, everything. The homeboy, he used to be a cardinal. So he used to teach me that shit, and that's where I learned from all the older homeboys when I was a kid. You know, so it's just like they taught me because everybody has their own style of art. You know, so you just pick up here, you pick up here, and then all of a sudden you're an artist. You can see, you know. Right. And when people start saying, "Hey, you're good, you're this, that," and they're like, "Damn, am I really that good?" You know, people are talking. I'm like, "Damn."
Yeah. Hey, good looking out, Miss T. We appreciate you, Fish Slayer.
Fish Slayer.
He said a couple days. Chupa, it takes him a couple days to finish.
Is that right? How are you with well, maybe we could talk offline. Yeah, we could talk offline on some of the art stuff and
yeah, because I could draw anything. Portraits. I try to portraits. I love portraits. That's my specialty. You know, because I'll make it look exactly like the picture. No, you know, that should look real.
Okay. Yeah, that's
because it was so real. I did that one for my homeboy, right? I was saying his son died, and I did it, and his wife just got at me on Instagram, and she's saying, there's detail in the drawing. There's always detail in the drawing, right? She goes, in a portrait, especially a portrait. She said, but your detail is amazing. She goes, I can't help but think every time I pass this picture, it makes me cry at my son. You know, and she goes, that's how deep it is. And, you know, I didn't want to make her cry, you know, but it's just like, it's up there. But she thanked me. I was just like, that means a lot.
Big Goyo.
Yeah. Yeah, that's incredible.
Jerry, what's your IG? Valeria wants to know so she can blow you up, man.
Sure, I ain't got nothing on my IG except what is it? I don't want my ex-old lady to find me.
All right.
Now, I lost a lot of my stuff on IG, but my Instagram, all it has is my cooking stuff, my tamales. I don't know if you know what buñuelos are. Yeah.
Wait, you're a chef too?
Huh?
You're
Yeah.
a chef too?
Yeah. I make homemade tortillas, everything. Tamales, yeah, chili verde. Just like
that's what I'm telling him. When he comes over, you're gonna have to hook it up, man.
Yeah.
So when I get
right, good looking out, my boy.
Yeah, I just made some chili verde burritos earlier. And what I did was you boil the pork steaks, right? And you make that broth. So you boil it and then you tear apart you keep the bone on, so it brings that flavor, right?
Yeah.
And then you put that and you roast chili. It's Anaheim peppers, so it's not too spicy. You roast that and then you peel that, put it in the chili, put your seasoning, everything like that. Chop up the meat, and then you let that cook. So the meat it'll just fall off, you know, it'll be soft. So once that all boils and everything, you put your flour, everything to make the gravy. So once that boils, you make your Spanish rice, right? You make your Spanish rice. Then you make your tortillas. So you put your rice, you put your chili verde in, and your cheese. You roll it up, and then you put the sauce from the chili verde on top, and then you put cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, and onions. It's bomb.
Right.
People all over you.
I hear you.
I sell them $5 for 2 burritos. And people in my apartment complex, they be asking me all the time, when you gonna cook again? When you gonna cook again?
It's the deal with the tamale person, huh? Jerry's here. Oh,
yeah.
Let's
Did I get your plate of food? Let me see, man.
Valeria, try to put my Instagram. I don't even know where in the hell.
Here we go. Here's Goyo's food, man, for the night.
I know Goyo be cooking good too.
Goyo don't cook, comes his lady.
No, that's his wife.
Yeah, Goyo don't cook anything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks bomb.
That's right.
Yeah, that looks bomb.
That's a trip, man. I fancy myself as somebody that cooks a little bit. I haven't done it too much lately in terms of posting the pictures on IG and stuff. But I used to have this thing, you know, homie cooks, right? And so when I get the merchandise made, I was gonna get aprons made that says homie cooks, right? And
homie cookouts.
And so and so when I get them made, Holmes, I got you one on the strength. Don't trip.
All right. That's right, Mike. Appreciate you, man.
But yeah, I was gonna put some clothes, you know, with some sayings on there, like, you know,
5150.
Yeah. I was 5250 because I'm an overachiever. But yeah,
and you know, that's another thing I wanted to do is create like prison sayings, like 5150. Give me a 602.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, man.
It's like
that's good stuff right there.
Yeah. Let me see what everybody's sticking.
We need to eat healthy. Yeah, Lupe.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Goyo? We ain't hating on you, Holmes.
It make you feel better too, man. You start eating
homemade tortillas. This is on my Instagram. My homemade tortillas and buñuelos.
Homemade tortillas. Oh man, you got to shoot the recipe, homie.
Yeah, they're easy.
Yeah,
that's an easy thing to cook. Let me see.
I was a cook in Chino Central. Fralin said.
That's right.
Hey man, it's
shoot.
What's up, my boy?
That's where I picked it up at, and I picked up a lot of it in prison. And you know what I used to do is get the roast beef and the instant rice and the refried beans, right? Make my burritos in the morning. But I used to have a connection in the kitchen. And he used to give me the 5-pound cheese, the shredded cheese. So
Big
I used to
figures.
get that, and then I used to have a stinger, and I used to make the burritos in the morning with the jalapenos and everything, and then steam them all day long with the cheese.
Yeah.
Then I'd have like 4 in each bag, and I have like 3 buckets with 2 stingers in them. Man, homeboys used to come to my door. They used to be on 3:30.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you're looking out Big Figures Fish Slayer, man, I'm trying to pay Jerry for some artwork. I'm wanting an ocean scene fishing sleeve tag. I have some ideas. You hear that, Jerry? There's some business for you right there.
What is it?
It says I'm willing to pay Jerry for some artwork. I'm wanting an ocean scene fishing sleeve tag. I have some ideas as well. Something else he's interested.
Yeah, that worked. Let me try to get my Instagram.
Yeah, I got you with Fish Slayer. I'll link him up with you, man.
Hey, what you could do, Jerry, if you want, in terms of the Instagram stuff, is once you find it, just shoot it to Box, and then Boxer can put it out on Instagram so that people get the tag.
Yeah.
And that way, you know,
Yeah,
that
that
way
way
you're not
some
necessarily putting it out to the whole world, right? You're putting it out to the Instagram followers from the channel instead of necessarily, you know, folks that come across it.
Yeah, because I have it right here. It's Jerry Salazar 6976. So.
Oh, that's easy. I'm gonna add you right now.
Yeah, I'm already tapped in with them.
Now I'm gonna start posting my food.
Don't let Valeria hear about that, man. Did you catch that, Valeria? His IG.
Got him.
It's Jerry Salazar 6976. Yeah, I just got it right now.
Yeah, it's you can cash in on that IG, Jerry. That's what I said. Maybe the 3 of us could talk sometime offline, but you
I'm getting all kinds of followers now.
Yeah, and well, and I got some friends that do art, right? Yeah. And they're very good as well, right? And so they have different ways that kind of they market and they get the stuff out there and whatnot, and it's very profitable, you know. Very, very profitable. And
and that Instagram right there, that Instagram right there, that's my new Instagram. I don't have hardly anything on it, so
yeah.
Like, where'd that go, man?
Yeah,
but yeah, we'll hook up on artwork because you know everybody wants to make a profit.
No, of course, that's what I'm saying. Is yeah, bro. There's a bag with your name on it out there, and it's a good size one, you know. And as I've been talking to another homeboy of mine, and I've been watching what he's doing. He's been doing a lot of painting, big painting portraits and stuff. Some of the people on here know him, Lil D, right? And I'd be curious about how to put together an art show of formerly incarcerated artists, right? But presented in a professional sense. You know what I mean?
Gallery.
Yeah, like a gallery.
But something that is in line with what a quote unquote normal art show would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where we're not like the hood art show or the ex-convict art show. You know, it's because your skills and there's other folks too. Those are top-notch skills. Those aren't, you know what I mean? Those aren't ex-convict skills. Those aren't barrio skills. Like those are top-notch art skills. And that's the recognition that it deserves.
You're looking at
like I said, you know, it felt good when I was in there and I gave back to the community because we used to do like 30 something drawings a year, you know, each one of us. So whatever those 30 drawings got, I gave it all to abused women and children. So it's just like it felt good at the end of the year because them kids never had a Christmas tree or anything like that. Right. Man, it felt good. I took all that to the board. You know, that helped me a lot because I took it. To, you know,
so
the board was looking at it like, man, you got thousands of dollars for the stuff you did. You know, you didn't have to do that. And I was like, well, you know, it's a way of giving back. You know.
That's right. Anthony Reyes, man, we appreciate you, man.
Because a lot of it's just look. I mean, it's easy for somebody to judge me, right, for my past. You know, and like I said, it's just like anybody has a story, and these stories I've heard throughout prison. I mean, doing time, it's just like people always tell war stories on yard. It's just like, come on, man, everybody has a story. It's just like mine has to be just a little bit more sophisticated than others. Mine had to do with the organization, you know, with the others drive by this and that, you know, and you know, there's some hateful crimes. Like I was telling Box that I was locked up with some serious dudes, right, and serious dudes that you know. They're about that business, and let me see if I can. Let me put it on here. Hold on.
What happened, Jerry? You falling apart over there, man?
No, I was going to show him that picture. I showed
That's right, Lupe. Hey, you deserve the credit, brother. You're the one that pushed me to do that, man.
Hey, those sending regards to my lady, man. I appreciate it. And,
oh yeah. Hope she gets well, bro.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. And she's getting better.
That's right, Mike. I appreciate you, man. Bristol.
This is a picture.
Yeah, look at that picture right there, man. That's a. Let me get this off real quick, so you guys can see that. That's
me with the sunglasses.
Big Chente, Mike Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
The man of the hour right there, Jerry Salazar, and then you got Charles Manson.
That's insane.
Look at him, man.
Yeah, Charles Manson was above me.
You guys know who Big Chente is, the guy with the bandana, Vincent Arroyo.
That's insane.
And Mike Thompson, of course.
The former NF member.
Oh yeah.
He's part of.
To put it mildly, yeah.
yeah, he was Big Chente was part of leadership, man. When those 92 indictments hit, he was like,
he was the Mesa.
Part of the Mesa.
Yeah, that's
part of history.
He's from Big Chente is from, where's he from? Chino?
He's from Chino,
right?
Yeah.
Sinners.
Yeah. It's one that he said he was a Sureño. Somebody yelled at North.
Oh, Chino Sinners, huh?
Yeah. There's another regular right here, Máquina Listo, man. But there's some more business for you, Jerry.
Okay. Yeah, get at me on my Instagram.
Yeah, they yeah, that's
If you guys don't got Instagram, reach out through me and I'll relay it, man. Hook it up.
Sure.
I'm on Facebook also.
You got Facebook too, huh?
Yeah, I got Facebook also. And it's under Jerry Salazar.
Jerry done caught up with the times real quick.
Yeah, I still ain't got no Facebook. Renee Q, how you doing, Renee Q?
So I was just like, you've been out a while.
Yeah. Yeah, when you came out, you said 2018.
That's my uncle with the white beater.
2013.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to do 7 years in the SJ. So I was just like, I did the 7 years. I was like, I ain't tripping.
Right.
You know, you're gonna send me back to the wolves, all right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, just like I only had one like little slip up where there was this child molester. I don't know if he's a child molester, but he was exposing himself at a school, and I was with my ex. We were right there on the east side, and she told me, "Hey, Jerry, look at the school." I looked at the school real quick, and he had his pants down behind a tree. I was like, "Oh, hell no!" I was just like, "Damn!" So I went behind him. He looked, and I just cracked him. Bam! Yeah. Hit him straight in this down. He just boom. He hit the cement. And I was just like, "Damn! I might have killed him." So I went back across the street. Yeah, I went back across the street. And I told the dude that was living with us. I said, "Hey, man, go tell the cops come. You hit him. I didn't hit him."
Right.
Yeah. So I was just like, he went back and the cops. He woke up, you know. So I was glad he woke up. I didn't want to kill him.
Sure.
Knock some sense in him a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, but he did better than pull down his pants at school again.
Right. Yeah, I bet he didn't go back to that school and play that. You know what I mean?
School grounds, man. Yeah, Máquina Listo, just get at me, homie. I'll hook you up. That's crazy, man. On the school.
Yeah, at school. Yeah.
Fuck,
I don't know if you guys know where August Boger is.
What?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
August Boger, that little elementary school next to it.
In San Jose, right?
Yeah, it's home.
Yeah.
Right by Mount Pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I used to live right there, right across the street. Yeah, it's crazy, and especially I'm an expert now, and I'm living right there on the east side of San Jose. You know, it's just like, and I'm through. You know, I know I'm through. It's just like, but it wasn't gonna defer me from going places. You know, I went to sing in East Ridge, go watch a movie. It's just like I was going to do mine. You know, regardless. It's just like I wasn't afraid. I wasn't saying I'm in hiding. Look at me. I'm just like, if anybody knows me, they noticed me. A couple people did, but you know, just like they had their respect.
Yeah. Well, and Boxer and I have talked about that sometimes when it comes to like the Mission District and him, right? And how, you know, it's a different vibe when you're on the streets, you know, and it sounds, at least you guys would know better, but it sounds, especially when you're in your hometown, right? And you run across people, and you know, you guys have built relationships over the years, you know, out there and stuff, you know, and so people aren't so quick to push the prison line, right? And I would imagine there's some youngsters even that maybe don't know you guys personally, but then they've heard the stories. So even if they are the type to want to push the prison line, that's a selective pushing. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna pick and choose who they push it with. So
yeah, because they don't know if I'm strapped. They don't know if I'm carrying anything. So it's just like you got to be very careful.
Right. Yeah, there's some people you see on the streets where you're like, there's a green light on that fool, and I catch him slipping at the mall. Yeah, why not? You know what I mean? Why not? And I would imagine there's others where you see them and you know there's a green light on them, and you catch them slipping at the mall, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna just pretend like I didn't see him. You know?
Because at the same time, I didn't go to prison for a traffic ticket.
Right.
Julio, I've been through there.
Like that song says, I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
Right. Hey, Jerry. This is a good one right here. You brought this up the other day, man. If you want to speak on it, I addressed it a little bit, but there's nobody that can tell it better than you, homie. You know?
All right. Let's see, boxing. You and Jerry explain why Chocolate was Perez was hit. Okay, the main reason why it was jealousy, bro. Because Chocolate was with one of Lucky's hyenas, and she lived in Fresno. She was Bobby Lopez's cousin, and she was pretty, but Chocolate was with her, and Lucky found out about it. And Lucky had a thing where nobody could be with his girls that he was seeing, right? But everybody was with him. So Chocolate made his mistake right there. Then there was talk that he was using carga, right? And it's just like heroin. And nobody saw him using heroin, but a lot of people were. It's just like we knew who was using heroin. We knew, as long as it didn't disrupt our business, plain and simple. And then number 3 was people had said that he was never a carnal, right? And that whoever pulled him, the person that pulled him was a DO. I forget who pulled him, but it's just like them 3 reasons. But mostly the main reason was jealousy, because it's just like over that hyena. Because Lucky's the one that put a hit out on him. So it was mainly that, and he was a carnal. Because I don't know if you remember, I told you that when I went to go take him out, that I used him as a carnal. I said, you know what, bro? You're a carnal. I'm a bro, so I need a carnal there, to use them words. So he was in that. So it's just like there's a certain reputation that you have to live up to, and Chocolate, I think he overstepped some of his boundaries, I should say. Like he used his power. He let his power go to his head, because Louis was his boy, right? And it's just like him and Louis were, they were tight. But it's just like once we started stripping Louis of his power, then Chocolate was like, oh yeah, screw that dude and this and that. It's just like you can't play both sides of the fence. You're close to this dude. We already see it. So it's just like, are you telling with him? It's just like we started putting our radars up, but I didn't think Chocolate deserved to be here. I didn't, because it's just like I didn't think a lot of people deserved to be here. I used to kick it with a lot of carnals, and that I don't know if you remember in the 70s, you could retire on a
semi-retirement.
Yeah, semi-retirement.
That was all 25 years, right?
Yeah, it was on good status. If you were good, everything like that, because they were pulling a lot of carnals back then that didn't have no smut on them. They didn't tell on nobody, and they just did their time, and then they got out and lived a life. So they retired on a good status. So it's just like it was like semi-retirement. And unless you went back to the Pinta, then you had to, function. And a good candidate was at Huevo. Huevo, he went back, and it's just like he didn't know which way to want. He didn't want if he wanted to retire, if he didn't, but he was still trying to hold that status. I have a couple uncles through marriage that live in Watsonville, and they were ex-carnals, and they were killers, but they retired on a good basis. So it's just like
looking out rednecks.
But I don't know. A lot of people don't remember that, and that happened in the 70s. It didn't happen in the 80s. It didn't happen in the 90s. I mean, it didn't happen back then. It happened in the 70s. I don't know if you know Dumbo. You remember Dumbo?
I heard of Dumbo. I never met him.
Yeah, Dumbo. Me and him used to kick it out in the street. It's just like I used to kick with a lot of carnals out in the streets that were dropouts, but at the same time they weren't a stumbling block to me. It's just like I was a good dude out there. If you were cool with me, I was cool with you. But you start acting scary, then how about think something's up?
Right.
Just like just kick it. We're partying, kick it. Just like I'm not out here to kill you. I'm not here to kick it with you. But it's just like it wasn't until everything all started up and all that power and everything started going to everybody's head that it's just like they started acting different, and it just like act the same way, man. If you're gonna come in and out, act the same way. If you're gonna be a person of status, act the same way. Treat brothers the same way. Don't treat them any different. You're supposed to give back to our brothers. It's like every time when I had the regiment, every time a brother got out of prison, I would hook him up with grams. Here's some grams. Here's like 10 grams. Give me $70 each for them. It's just like make your money. Roleños, whatever, make your money. Just give me $70 back for them. And it's just like I wasn't making no money. It was going to the bank, but it's just like come up first. Come up. Build yourself up. Try to establish something. I don't want to be the only one gilling out here. I don't want to be the only one kicking down doors, robbing connections. You got to show some stuff too. Go find me a connection where I could go knock down the door. It's just like plain and simple. But these dudes weren't doing it. Yeah, like Chocolate. A lot of people use that carnal status like it's a thing that they can overpower a pro.
Right.
It's just like I got just as much or more schooling than you do. And it's I put in more work than you did. So don't try to use that carnal stuff over me because I'm not paying attention to it. I'm a bro, but I got balls too.
Right.
Just I'm right there at that doorstep of being a carnal. So don't try to use your power to punk me because I'm not a punk. And there was a lot of bros that weren't punks. They weren't having it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we talked a little bit about that, Josh. That there was a lot of hermanos, man, that were consider them hard line hermanos. They didn't want to take that final step and become a C. They established themselves as righteous hermanos, and that's the movement that they that they had grown to they embraced it, man. They embraced the NR. We approached them about making a commitment. They were like, no, man, this is me right here. And a lot of them really, really believed in that movement, man.
That question right there, Boxer, can you ask Jerry he thinks Bobby, Lucky, and Huevo deserve to be out? Oh yeah, if I deserve to be out.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them deserve to be out. It's just like Bobby didn't kill nobody. Bobby didn't shoot nobody. he called a hit. But he never shot nobody. He never stabbed nobody. He never killed anybody. He just called hits. So he's on death row for calling hits and opening his mouth. It's just like, but all of them deserve to be out. It's just like Lucky. He's serving 100 years to life. 4 consecutive life sentences. But I heard he went to board after 63. So just like, or 60, 63, 61, something like that. And he's that age right now. And Huevo, I don't know what's up with Huevo. He's up in the 70s. So it's just like, they're all old. Pinky, Chente, they're all like in their 70s. They're late 60s.
Do you think based on kind of the atmosphere that you've seen when you're in there, and I'm sure folks that you still talk to that you were in there with, that compassionate release on a state level, do you feel like they're going to be cutting some of these dudes on compassionate releases, or
not unless you're still active. If you're still active, you're not going to get released. It's just like I haven't seen one yet get released when they're active. If they have, more power to them. But you gotta denounce all that gang stuff at the board, because once you get in there on the board, it's like debriefing, because you got to tell all about your gang affiliate. Everything they have on record is law. Everything they have on files, it's law. So I don't see no gang member getting out of prison, active gang member who has a life. No, it's not, because they're telling in the boardroom. Because you got to tell. You got to go in there. You got to go in there and say everything you've done. When I got busted this time, man, I had to debrief. They would not let me out sticking out of the shoe to go to the PHU. They would not. It took me a long time to go over there, because I was in 4A, 1 left, I think. Yeah, 4A, 1 left.
That's right, Jesse.
Yeah, so you make a good point, actually, that I hadn't heard before, and that I didn't know. So if you're on the main line going to board, I know that you got to take accountability for your crime. You got to show remorse, right? And even if you feel like you're not guilty of certain things, or if you are not guilty, you still gotta convince them that you're remorseful and that you understand the true weight of what you did, and not minimize and all that other stuff, right? But like, if they have chronos from the time that you've been incarcerated, right? Hey, we got this 128 from 10 years ago that says that you were busting down doing machina with the Northern Structure. What's that about?
Yeah.
You still got to speak to that stuff in board. It's not just about your commitment offense. It's also about your activity since you've been in there.
Yep. It's everything.
Wow.
It's everything. Even if you've been accused of stabbing on the yard, right? They're going to bring that up, because it's in your confidentials. They can bring anything in your confidentials up, anything, because they'll ask you when you go to board. They'll say, "Are we going to be using any confidentials today?" And they'll either have the right to say no, or either have the right to say yes, because they'll use them and they'll bring it up. It's up to your job to explain that, So if you say, I don't know, people on the yard all the time.
That's right.
It's just like, but your confidentials are going to say your character, right? Because it's just like, if you're going to AA, NA, doing programs here and there, and the confidential just happens to come up, and they're saying, "Oh, he's over here sticking people, stabbing people, gang affiliated." Or when do you have time? I'm always in groups. I'm always having this, that. People can lock it up all day long on this yard. And I can't say what that person was fearing, but people lock it up and just use my name, saying I'm doing this, doing that. That's his problem, not mine. I'm still doing my program. But if you're constantly messing up, showing that guards are putting confidentials on you, inmates are putting, if you have a reputation of the confidentials, then they're going to use that against you. So
Jerry, like, you know what happened to Suki?
Yeah, Suki, I heard he's out.
Yeah, that's what they were saying right now, and that's right about Toro. Big Toro passed away. Miguel Garza.
Yeah, Dakota, he's my boy, man. That boy had big old mitts. Yeah, big old mitts. Yeah, big old head.
Sean Wheelan. Yeah, man, he's a big boy.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Hell yeah. He used to hit that bag. Man, I thought that whole bag was going to go flying through the yard.
He used to spar with Foreman.
Yeah. Yeah, he's part of Foreman. That's right. He had that peacock, that rooster on his back. That because he used to always fight roosters.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's man, Miguel Garza, man. He's a good dude. They didn't say what he died from? Because he was only 8 years older than me.
Anybody knows what he died from? I know a couple people know, like Big Lou mentioned it right now. So if you guys know what he died from, put it in the comments. And any of you guys that want to support Lucky Local, man, that's his Cash App link, or his I know they had a what is that called, GoFundMe page for him. You heard about him, Josh?
No.
Said his business supposedly is going to the ground, man.
Really?
And, yeah. That supposedly the last couple weeks his business has been going downhill, and he's living at the restaurant. And I know, when you're running a family business like that, you got your overhead, and when you go on a slump where nobody's coming through, you don't got customers, man. That overhead that's got to come out your pocket, and after so long, man, it's like, man, this shit right here, something's got to happen. I'm gonna have to shut it down. That's where he's at right now.
Wow, that's a surprise, man, because he was popping. Is it because of the virus and people just ain't going out, or is it because of, remember they had that shooting at the thing, right? So they've had a little bit of violence somewhat close to him. Obviously, they ain't got nothing to do with him, but I'm wondering if he's getting blowback from that, or.
Yeah, I don't know. Lucky Local, I know you're watching, man. Maybe you can elaborate on that, man. I was surprised too to hear it, man, because like you said, man, I thought his business was thriving, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not sure. My prima Lisa from Dakota told me that when I was with Rabbit from Dakota, also told me, but not the reason what caused Toro's death. So
yeah, because he had 3 strikes. He had 25 to life, and that's what.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
left him deported, right?
Toro. Yeah, I don't know if he got deported because I was with him. I left him in 2009. That's when they sent me to Pleasant Valley. So it's just like, but I was with him. I was with him in Mill Creek.
Yeah.
He got deported.
Somebody said that in the comments.
No, okay. Because he wasn't afraid of anybody. He'd go in there, knock somebody out, quit. Yeah, he big boy.
Jerry,
his nose was crooked as hell too.
You know Paul Salcido? They want to know.
Who?
Paul Salcido.
Paul
Salido. Paul Salido.
No.
Somebody else want to know if you knew Big Al from an AB, former AB.
No, I know a lot of ABs. I know.
No, they're clowning, bro.
I think he's talking about Benton.
No, they're clowning from Blood In, Blood Out because he was asking about Miklo from San Quentin and that kind of shit too.
Oh, okay.
They got you on that one. They got.
All right, let me catch you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're clowning you, Box. They're clowning all of them.
Any word on Frank Nitti from the city getting freed off his life term?
Frank Nitti, I ran into him.
I ain't seen Frank in a minute, man.
Yeah, I ain't seen him in a minute either. When did I run into him at? Was it Mill Creek? Because I ran into him. He just showed something.
This guy's asking if you could show his drawing. He just showed a bunch of his drawings right now.
Yeah, you got this replay. Add to the views on the replay.
Yeah. I'll put it on my Instagram. I'll put it on my Instagram.
There you go.
Yeah. You got my Instagram? Yeah, I think you put it up there, right?
Yeah.
You posted it?
Yeah.
No, I can't post it.
What you say? What was it, Jerry?
6976, I think.
Jerry Salazar.
6976.
Yeah.
Yeah, he passed in Mexico. Yeah, it says Miguel Garza passed in Mexico. Yeah, there was a lot of good dudes on that B yard and in Mule Creek itself. Because Mule Creek was, like I said, it was went at 50-50 yards in 2002 when SNYs took over the 8-yard first on B yard. So it's just like that was one of the first SNYs that come into effect. And
Yeah,
then
that's
they gave us a list of prisons that would come into effect. So it's just like
Renee Q, can you show actual portrait? I don't think he's got any portraits done yet, Renee, but that's what he specializes in.
I'll put one up. I'll put one up that I just finished. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see that motherfucker myself, man. Big Ron. Jerry, have you ever did time with Tony Barreras from Tracy?
Tony Barreras, no. Who was I with you in Tracy?
What about what's his name?
He's a Puerto Rican dude. Yeah, Santos.
Diablo.
Tracy.
You know Diablo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Santos, Diablo.
De Leon. I was with him up in the Bay for about 2 years, man.
I remember that homeboy that. Remember I told you he killed his mother-in-law? The homeboy Happy from Antica. Yeah, I remember his last name is Escobar. Daniel Escobar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he straight took out his mother-in-law just a couple months ago, man. It's just like, man. And he knew all of this. That's what I can't get. If you see a person doing life, and fighting for his freedom every stinking year or every 3 years, and you see all that, and then you get out after doing like 10 years or something like that, and you go back there for killing somebody, you're dumb. I gotta say, you're dumb. Because it's
How
like,
you doing, Wendy?
Because I used to hate. How you doing, Wendy? I used to hate people who would get out, and then come back for a violation. I'm like, man, take your freedom, bro. It's just like, and especially if you're on this side, why are you coming back? Make something of yourself, man. It's just like
there was a northerner. He got in trouble actually because he got out and came back. So when I was on the yard, he paroled shortly after I got there. He came back on a violation, did his violation, got out, and then had come back a third time. And this is all in the span of like maybe a hair over a year, right? And there's a lot of lifers on the yard, right? And like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, and he wasn't out on the streets functioning like that, right? He wasn't an hermano. He wasn't with, he was just going out there and doing stupid shit and coming back.
Yeah.
And like, man, we're over here fighting to get out. You got dudes that have been down 20 years longer, and you're treating your release date like a game. You know what I mean? And yeah, he got pressed a little bit on that. But more, excuse me, he got in trouble, but it was more a sense of like tough love almost, like you're taking this shit for granted, and there's a lot of people that don't have that action. Hey, I was wondering, so you were talking about in the 70s and kind of retirement, and I know that applied to people going home, the semi-retirement, but I don't know if you could speak to like Smiley Ramos, right, from Sanjo. I think you guys were together over there in Corcoran or somewhere. And I know he died over there. Apparently, I think like he's married to I don't know, Pinky's sister or something. He has some family tie, but he was on the other side. Technically, he was walking around mainlines for a long time too, though. What was his status? How did that work? Where somebody like him, he has a B number, and he was with the business by all accounts. He got older, and he still did walk some yards in general population with Northerners and Norteños, and it was known. And he programmed. He didn't politic. He didn't claim any status, right? He just kind of minded his own.
He was a carnal.
And yeah, but he was a carnal. So same as like Hobo. Like Hobo walked the yard, for a while, and everybody knew who he was. He wasn't in leadership. He wasn't conducting himself that way. He was conducting himself as an old timer, right? And he hung out with Ricardo London. He hung out with Smiley when we were on the yard together, and just kind of did his thing, right? You know, got loaded, kicked it. Man, we had great conversations. You know, he was a homeboy in the sense of, you know, how where you eat, where you hang out, where you sit, all that other stuff. But I've always been curious, kind of how that happened. Is it just because they slid underneath the radar on some of these yards that have younger Northerners and younger Norteños? Or was there some kind of a past that they had that allowed them, you know?
But I seen a homeboy. I don't know if you guys know him, Conejo. He was a carnal. Conejo from SAC, Bobby Cuevas. Anybody know him?
I know the name.
Anyway, he was slick because I was over there in Mule Creek with him, right? And he was carnal. He was he was ex carnal, but anyway, he got out. He got busted again, but he went under his son's name, and they shipped it through. They shipped it to a mainline, and he was still, you know, rocking and rolling with the bros. You know, he just said he was a bro. He didn't say, but nobody even questioned him. It's just like he still passed through, you know, and he still got it. He was a knucklehead. He was funny as hell, but he was a knucklehead. And I said, why didn't you just come back to SNY? He goes, man, I'm cool with SNY. He goes, I'm good. Because there's too many there's too many politics. I'm gonna have to kill somebody over there.
Right.
You know, but he liked just doing time, but he didn't want to be the actor dude no more, where something was expected of him.
Right.
You know, and he was a dropout, but he slipped through the cracks. And there's a lot of dudes that slip through the cracks. Like you mentioned the name Ricardo London. I did 10 years with him over there. You know, and it's just like smart dude, funny as hell. You know, and I knew of him, but I never did time with him when we were both active.
Right,
we did time with each other when we were out. You know, and he had a B number. You know, he was a good dude, man. He was very, very, very intelligent, but he was never hooked up. You know, it's just like he was never hooked up.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, he was a sympathizer.
Yeah, just strong sympathizer.
Yeah, strong sympathizer.
Yeah, he was on a yard with us also in Solano, and I believe he was classified as an other, right? As native, as an other, but he just hung out with Hobo and Smiley for the most part, and he was a clerk and did a lot of favors, a lot of bed moves, a lot of, you know, he was a clerk in the Central Complex, and so,
yeah, he doesn't look his age.
Huh?
He doesn't look his age.
No, and he, you know, none of us knew who it was. Just Ricardo, right? Yeah. And nobody knew. Like I said, with Smiley and with Bo, there was knowledge of like, hey, you know, these dudes were around before North and South.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't non-affiliated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I always tripped on how they were able to walk the dogs. Big Lou put a comment and was like, yeah, those guys could walk the yard in the mid to late 90s. That's when I seen them. But then at some point they wound up on the SY side, or at least Smiley did. I think Bo did as well. And so I don't know. I just kind of,
because you have to like me holding down a yard or a tier, right? That was one of my jobs. Now, is he a stumbling block to us? Is he a threat? Mm-hmm. You know, to our security? Can we utilize him? Mm-hmm. You know, those are the questions you have to be asked. You know, is he going to go out there and go tell on us if we're going to go do something? No.
Right.
Is he gonna assist us in any way? Yeah, probably. You know, if we ask him to. He's a lifer. Right. You know, has he already put in work before for the NF? Yes. Yes.
Oh, he got murdered.
You know, so all them things, a good RSD or overall or anything like that, they would put that into consideration before, you know, putting a hit on a dropout. Yeah. You know, especially in the late 80s and 90s, because it's just like all these things will catch up to you later on down the road. Mm-hmm. You know, like he went to SNY. He could have held a big old resentment if I would have put a hit on him.
Right.
You know, and it's just like, why are we going to waste our time with him, who was part of our, you know, culture at one time? Mm-hmm. Hasn't told on anybody. He's just kicking it. He's just kicking it, doing his time. Leave him alone. Let him do his time. And that's my thinking. And it's just like that's the way I was schooled. Just let him be.
And what you're saying makes
you.
sense. Yeah, what you're saying makes sense, and that's exactly how they program, right? They weren't obstacles in the slightest, man. They were old timers that kind of did their own thing. Fountains of wisdom, right? I mean, just and so they were kind of left alone, right? What you're saying makes a lot of sense. I didn't run across a lot of hermanos, let alone C's, that had that mindset, right? In terms of nah, bro, if it was a dropout, he got to go, right? And especially in the 90s, in terms of he's an NF dropout, and so I always thought, like, man, did these dudes at some point get like a pass or some kind of walk away or like, hey, you know what? But what you're saying makes sense, and they did have legacies, right? They had names, they had put in work, they hadn't flipped, they had bodies on them behind the wall, so
because you have to look at in the 70s, they had the 7 of life, right? And they were letting a lot of people out in the 70s. It wasn't until the 80s that they stopped letting lifers out, but they were letting a lot of dudes out that had murders under their belt in the 70s, and it's just like, so a lot of carnals got out. The ones that were unfortunate not to get out, they were still doing time, and we would just let them slide because it's just like, come on, you didn't get your chance to get out. But how many carnals actually were in the NF that put their work in the 70s that just slid through the cracks or whatever? Just let him be on the yard. He's not doing nothing. Just let him be on the yard. Our thing is building up these young Norteños. Put our energy into that. Put our energy into recruiting. Put our energies into making solid carnals. And that's what we did. We put our energy into that, schooling people. And I think that was our best solution. Now, when I got out and we started killing all these people, it's just like that was all bad energy. It's just like we weren't doing no good energy at all. It sucked. So I look at it today and I'm like, man, where did all that good schooling go to? It went out the door because you're following orders.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Box and I have talked about it, and I had a cellie who was a youngster when you got caught up in the indictment, Carlitos, right? And that's how I originally heard about you. And
you're cellie,
and he had the same schooling. He had the same thing, right? Where we get the B&Ls and there's 50 gazillion people, right? And he's looking through there and he's like, man, no, take that name off. Take that name. These dudes are 75 years old. Hey, fucking leave them alone. They're not a problem, right? And people would come back and there was always this rush. Oh, man, he got out and he didn't send homeboys no money. He's trash. He got to go. He got to go. And he's like, why are we in such a rush to whack everybody and get rid of everybody? You know what I mean? Like, you're creating an enemy where you don't need to. And if somebody doesn't want to play along, he had this case he talked about where he whacked his cellie in the Bay, but he gave him action and just leave it. Like, hey, just lock it up, bro. You don't want to rock? That's fine. Go down and tell him you don't want to rock with us and go off to D12 and do your thing.
Yeah.
And dude's like, no, I ain't going nowhere. Huffing and puffing. So, okay, fine. Now you're going to get carved up and sent there, But I was like, why didn't you just carve him up to begin with? And he's like, I wasn't trying to make another enemy. If you don't want to be with us, I don't want you to be with us.
Yeah.
Just go away. Yeah. I'd rather you go away and not tell. I'd rather you go away and not take down the ship. I'd rather you go away and not be an obstacle. So just go. And I hadn't heard many people say that. Boxer had a similar thing when
I used talk. Who I used as an example, Jerry was Brown Bob.
Oh, yeah.
That was the perfect example right there. Here's somebody that was
gave up his own life.
That was loyal to the organization, gave up his life, got out, got married, had some kids, wanted to be a grandfather, wanted to move his life in a different direction. And he didn't tell on nobody.
No.
He went to the grand jury and perjured himself and ended up picking up another term.
Yeah.
But
got 5 years.
why not just let somebody like that go on with his life, man? He put in loyal service for all those years, but instead you want to waste what Bad Boy, Chuco, Dreamer, Beto, and all them other cats, Night Out, Rudy, killing them, and then everybody else that got involved, that got caught up in that shit. Why not just let them go, man? If they're becoming an obstacle, like you said, like you keep saying, creating an obstacle, then I can see, bro. You know, somebody that's kicking up the hey, just go on with your fucking life, man. But you want to keep kicking up dust, well, then you're making yourself, you're bringing that attention to yourself. But that wasn't Brown Bob. But not only that, the other part of it is this, bro. Do you want guys functioning with you when you're still active in the organization? Do you want guys that are just there with you out of fear, or guys that are there with you because their heart's really in it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because anybody can pump fear.
Right.
You know, like we all can pump fear. It's just, but are we? Does that make us a good soldier? Are we acting out of fear? Because I'm gonna make one point on Brown Bob. You know, it depends how much you know. You know, as far as I didn't agree with Brown Bob. I think he should have been cut loose, but he knew a lot. You know, it's just like, and it depends how high are you up. You know, because all these carnals that you're talking about, they don't know anything. They're just doing their time. They've done their shit in the 70s, right? Now, people that are carnals now that are be all you can be, you know, now they know something. They know the bonds. They know this. They know that. And then who are you kicking it with? He's kicking with Pinky, Chente. He's part of the Mesa. He's part of big dudes, big higher ups. So how old are you? You know, how old was BB when he got killed? 50 something?
Yeah, he's up there.
Because Esperanza was 40 something. Yeah, he was about 50 something. So it's just like, how many more years can you dedicate to us? You know, are you in your 70s, 60s? You know, I thought Brown Bob should have been cut loose because he wasn't gonna rap. He wasn't gonna tell nobody. You know, and especially when he was still keeping in communication with the higher ups. You know, and it's just like that. And then you wasn't gonna get him caught. Well, you got him caught slipping, but it's just like I didn't see that. You know, that coming where you got him caught slipping that much. It's just like he let his guard down. You know, because he should have knew better. You know, it's just like he should have saw it coming.
That indictment that he went and perjured himself for, what case was that? That's when they brought Pinky back, right?
Yeah, that was ours. That was our indictment. Yeah, he perjured himself there.
There you go, Big Lou. That was the case that they were caught up on in 92.
Yeah, because he got 5 years, and then he got out in 97, 98, somewhere. He got out
97.
97 and got killed right after. Yeah. So that was ours. Yeah, he was giving cuentas to my mom. He was passing back and forth. So it's just like he showed up at my mom's door and I said, "Yeah, we'll go ahead and work with him." So it's just like so that's when they called him grand jury and they busted him. Yeah,
it's a trip, man, because it's folks that are on the other side, quote unquote, right? That at least in my conversations with them, and I don't know a whole lot. You know, I don't. It's not like I got a big peer group of a bunch of folks like you two, right? But it's like even with you guys talking, it's kind of it's interesting because it's the pure schooling, right? It at least it strikes me as that. You know, it's the sensical, it's the reasonable, and I'm not advocating for anything. I'm not advocating people, you know, do whatever, right? But when you guys talk about values, when you guys talk about the schooling that you got, when you guys talk about how things are supposed to be, you don't. A lot of these dudes doing time now, they're not hearing that, they're not seeing that, they're not getting that, right? And so it's just a trip when if you put the two, in two different categories, right? You got all these quote unquote actives that are pushing these lines that don't really make sense, and then all you got these quote unquote bad guys, these inactives, these dropouts, these whatever label you want to put, that are a lot sharper and have a lot better, bigger picture view of things, right? It's sad in the sense of it when you look at what this group has done to itself, right? It's found a way to get rid of those with the schooling, with the experience, with the mindset, right? That you guys have, and yet found a way to keep and put on a pedestal those with entirely different agendas. I don't know. It's a trip.
Yeah, because it's just like there's a lot of carnals that didn't have the schooling that I had, you know, and I could tell right off. Just like Huevo, for instance, you know, he didn't know how to pull anybody. Now you have different people on that tier with different schooling, and I could tell everybody that had the schooling and everybody that didn't. You know, you had heavy hitters like Pinky, Chinte. You know, they've given their whole life to it. They know how to school. They know how to discipline somebody. You know, when they need to be disciplined. You know, and then you have, you know, and a lot of these hits were called without their authority. You know, they were just called. You know, they said Louis came out with a hit list. I never saw the hit list. You know, but a lot of these hits were selfish reasons.
Did anybody see that hit list? The infamous
E.J. Allen,
but like in the discovery of the case, did they? Was the actual hit list that he gave the parole officer, the piece of paper in writing, was that ever produced?
I've never seen it. Yeah, I've never seen that hit list. And they're saying they were giving it to the parole officer, E.J. Allen. I never saw it.
So that story may not be true then. Yeah. He may have just walked in there and flipped, but not actually had a hit list that he brought out.
But there was a lot of paperwork that was taken from us, from the carnals. Gotcha. So it's just like we couldn't see it.
Right.
So
hey, thank you, Big Ron. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, we couldn't see a lot of that paperwork. So it's just like and Box had brought that up before as far as the carnals running our cases. There's a lot of carnals that were, you know, they had full control, like the Constitution. Right. You know, they weren't letting us see the Constitution if we weren't a carnal. They were telling us, pull these pages out, and send them down. So we pull them out and send them down.
Now, were they having your guys' attorneys pull them?
No, we get our discovery, we get our thing, but as soon as the discovery came in, there was already a filter saying, "Hey, hand these pages over." So it's just
technically, you're still seeing it, but you just can't sit on it. You got to get it over there.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, because you know the homies, as soon as they get back to their cells, they're gonna peel those pages up.
I
will read that shit.
But in North Backs and South Backs, it's so. I mean, it's open. They didn't have the gates up yet. We still had the bars, so it's just like they didn't have the screens up. So once we got that discovery, it's just like that discovery was right there. So homeboys knew when you got that discovery because it came in. We had boxes and boxes of it. So it came in. So they said, "Okay, what part of discovery did you get today?" So we told them, "Okay," because they'll find out. They'll find out through their attorneys. So it's just like you don't want to say, "I didn't get that. I didn't get none." Right. Hell no, I wasn't about to test the waters.
When you guys were over there, when you guys were in North, where were you at? North Max or South Max?
I was in both.
Yeah, I was in both too, man. They didn't have the bar. They just had bars up. They didn't have the mesh on the bars.
They had bars up because I was there. I got there in May of '92. Yeah, May of '92 because that's when.
Didn't they put those up for you guys?
Yeah, they put it up. They were putting them up when I left.
Yeah,
cages. No, you know what? They didn't even have the cages up yet. Yeah, they didn't have the cages up because they put Little Max as a yard.
Yeah, Little Max. I was there too.
Yeah, they didn't have no cells open. They just put it as a yard. Yeah, they put it as a yard. So we had the 4 cells were empty, and then the other cell. I think there's 5 cells back there.
There's 4.
There's 4.
In the shower.
Okay, that last cell was a dip bar, pull-up bar,
Yeah.
and all that.
That was still there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Did they? Who did they have down there in ADSEC, Area 51? That was on the second deck.
Oh, Lucky was down there.
That's where they had Lucky at.
Yeah, that's
I
where
was down there too. I stayed down there about 18 months, bro.
Yeah, Lucky. But all of us were in North Max and South Max. Everybody that got indicted, we went up there, and then Lucky had turned and he went down there, and then I went to special housing, and then Skip was already gone. Skip was gone.
In the observation cells.
The observation cells in North Max.
No, they got they got 2 observation cells in 2nd East, right there in front of the officers, behind the officer station. The same thing on the 3rd deck.
Yeah, we weren't allowed in there. We were level 5. That's when they barely built level 5. We weren't allowed. We weren't allowed out of that back.
They threw my ass back there, boy.
Yeah, we weren't allowed back there because I remember the elevators broke and they sent us down there, the 2nd East, all them, and we were getting escorted. Man, everybody was
not 2nd East, the observation cells. There's only 2 cells. There's only 2 of them.
Yeah, behind the cop station. Behind the officer station. Yeah. It's just because it wasn't 2nd East, it was it wasn't Hollywood. Was it by Hollywood?
No. So you got the snake pits, right? And then you go down
the snake pits.
You go through that hall, and then you got the chow hall. You make a right, and then you go down, and you got the officer station right there with the two observation cells. You keep going straight down, you hit 2nd East Max.
Yeah, and that's where the elevators are, right?
No, the elevator's going back the other way. That's right in front. There's another door right there that goes into Area 51 right there. So when you're going down that hallway that goes to from Snake Pits to the Chow Hall, if you go left, that's where the elevators are at. They got 2 sets of elevators.
Yeah, they got 2 sets.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They led us from one elevator to the other on the 2nd floor.
Right.
And that's when the elevators were broke, right? So they had to lead us down to the 2nd floor, and then they had to take us over to the other elevators. And
right. So when
that's
you come
when
out of South Max, when you come out of South Max and North Max, as soon as you come out of that door, you make a hard left, and it's right there.
Yeah. There's an elevator, and then you go down the 2nd, and then they took us. We got off on the 2nd floor. I remember getting off on the 2nd floor once we hit that South Max, and then we took it to the other elevator.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like we went through that whole 2nd floor getting escorted, and there was all kinds of COs escorting us. And it's just like, and everybody, it's just like movie stars. Everybody was on there sneaking here because they already knew who we were. It's just like we were deep. They were like 15 deep. And I don't know who had mentioned it. I think it was you, Josh. Somebody had mentioned about women getting indicted. I forgot who it was. Maybe you, Box. I don't know which one. But you have to. There's women indicted in our case.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like they turned, but
Diana, right?
No, it was Carmen, Alice.
Trinidad.
Carmen, Alice,
Elisa. What's her name? Oh man, Carmen.
She had Brillo hair.
What happened to Diana?
No, Diana wasn't with us.
There
was only 3 of them. There was only 3: Alice, Carmen, and
Celeste.
Celeste.
That's
Celeste.
right.
Yeah, Celeste. I remember her hair being like a Brillo pad because we were in the court. We were in the courtroom, and it's just like because Flaco Paro, he was sitting with the hyenas in front of us, and Spaquillo wanted to kick him in the back of the head, and Chente told him, kick back, but he was in brown, and there's Flaco, and then the hyenas were red, but we were laughing at their jumpsuits because it said double X, triple X, quadruple X. It just went up. We were like, and Chente was clowning, like, look at all them X's.
They're good looking out, Jaguar Paul. Thank you, my boy.
Yeah, it's just like, because we made that courtroom experience like a comedian. We were just laughing at everybody.
You ever heard of Timothy Villalba? He went by Joker.
Yeah, he died.
Oh, he died. There you go, big head. Timo?
Nah, he was in the C.
He wasn't a C.
No. I don't know if he even went by Joker. He went by
Lisa
Timo.
Cuevas.
Who?
You know,
Lisa Cuevas.
Lori Wilson mentioned Lisa Cuevas.
Yeah, I know her too. Yeah, she wasn't indicted with us. She came later. No, she came later.
There was a couple sets though, right? So I remember they had the big indictment. Then they came back again with another one on Chente.
They had a one indictment for Timo Roy, the one for Eli. Then they had an indictment on Barry Federico Barry. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that indictment, and then they had one on Paul Farfan. That indictment. So there was a lot of little indictments after that, but they had the big one on us. So just those came out on after, and then you had right after that. Then you had the Black Widow, because that came out in what 98, 98, 99.
Yeah.
Oh, Black Widow.
Yeah, no, it came out a little bit later, didn't it?
Yeah, it came out around 2000, 2001. So.
Yeah, because I was already in the Creek, because I got in the Creek in '99, because that's when I got sentenced, and they wanted me to go testify on that Black Widow. I said, I'm not. Right. I'm good. I'm cool.
I'm not making a career out of this shit.
I'm good. Bye. See you later. I already got my 2 life sentences. Let me go do my time. Yeah, let me go get my TV and watch football.
Yeah, that's it. Just give me my fucking TV on.
Yeah, I'm tired of that county jail.
I spent, hey, bro, how long you stay there?
6 years.
I stayed there 10 years, homie.
Yeah, sucks.
Boxer spent more time in that county jail than I did on my whole attempted murder prison stretch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, hey, just man. For perspective, my entire prison career was,
Santa Clara ain't no joke, man. They traumatized me, bro.
Yeah, I bet. It traumatized me. I couldn't wait. He said, "You want to go to Corcoran?" I said, "Hell yeah!" And I already knew what Corcoran was. I was like, "Hell yeah, get me the hell out of this place." I said, "I'm good. I'm good. I'm good."
Hey, when did you come to Corcoran?
97. 97. Still in Corcoran. The first 2 years, I spent 3 years. I spent in Corcoran because I know I spent 3 years, and then everybody left. Chente left. Lucky was still there, and it was just like they were all. Chente volunteered to go to Mule Creek, so I was like, "What's up with Mule Creek?" So I was like, "I got to look into this." So I looked in. I told my counselor, I said, "Hey, I want to go to Mule Creek." You're never going to go out to the mainlands. I was like, "Why not?" I go, "Why not? If I write a crime, let me go out to the mainland." They find shit. They find the DRB sent me, the Department of Review Board. They helped my case because no classification. Like on your classification, they could send you just straight classify you and send you out. But DRB helped me. So DRB in Sacramento said they came down and they had a special board. And I was like, "Man, just send me out. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in a PH." He's like, "Are you willing to sign the crime?" I said, "Hell yeah." He goes, "I'm going to take a chance on you." I said, "All right, go ahead." So he did and sent me out. Oh, they were pissed. They didn't want me over there because they had to build me a cell.
So it wasn't a matter of your status or any of that other stuff. It was just an issue of the headache that you were going to be for the system because you were in a wheelchair.
I think both.
A little bit of
both.
So you're dangerous and you also have a wheelchair. So you're
it's like a catch-22.
Right.
It's like, and especially those were treading under untread waters, back then, because it's just like those issues were never brought up. Right. And it wasn't until I brought them up, I was like, I'm willing to fight the system. I have to spend the rest of my life in here. Now you're saying that I only have designated prisons that I can go to? No, this ain't gonna fly. I go, I don't have the right to be close to my family like everybody else does, just because they can walk. That's bullshit.
I was reading.
That's right.
What's up? There's one. I was reading maybe like a month ago, and I don't remember the name of it, but I kind of geek out on legal stuff, right? Cases and that sort of shit. And because prison made me a nerd, right? Of course. And so there was a case, and it's still going on, where they have this oversight now in terms of implementing the Disability Act, right? Um, and as it applies to people with wheelchairs, people with all kinds of different conditions, and what prisons they can go to in terms of, like, is there level ground? Is it a lot of hills? How can they access, the privileges and incentives, for lack of a better term? And who gets cellies, who doesn't get celly? It was interesting when I was reading it, because as many people know, I have a bag, right? I have an ileostomy bag, and so they're like, oh, if you have a bag, then you can have single cell, right? Because you got work on yourself in the cell, right? And change it also. They're like, you get a single cell, all kinds of stuff. And I know you talked about legislation, appeals that you filed early on, even starting in Santa Clara County. I'm wondering if that's all connected, if kind of the fires that you started lighting built into what became a class action thing. Maybe not a direct line, but because that's a class action suit, but it talks about the same stuff you talk about.
Yeah, because I'm the one that laid that foundation. Yeah, I laid it with public relation, was it public relations, I think. And there was a lawyer named Amanda Wilson. She used to come and see me all the time. She was crazy, but it's just like I used to sit there like 3 hours, talk to her, and she didn't even talk about our case. She just sat there to keep me company because she knew I was in there for a long time.
Right.
But anyway, she used to come up and visit me, and we were going to go to court. We said, nah, I want to take no deals, nothing. I want to sue these people. I want to make them feel my pain of me crawling around in the cell 24/7. Because that ain't right. I gotta sit on the floor to grab my tray to eat my food. That's a straight dog. I go, that ain't cool. I go, because I gotta reach up on the tray slot, bring it down, eat my stuff on the floor. I was like, that ain't cool. Right. And I'm doing this day in and day out for what, 14 months, something like that. I'm like, this ain't cool. And I go, the only way they're gonna give me my wheelchair is to go to Little Max, and go from cell to cell and wheel myself over there. I'm like, nah, that ain't happening. So then that's when they sent me to special housing, and they had built a cell for me over there, right? And this cell was tore up. The tray slot was my window, and they didn't have no TV. I'm like, oh, hell no. You guys are going to give me a TV. They had I couldn't even reach up there. They had the windows frosted out on the new county jail. I'm like, I can't even see out there. What, is the airplane going to give me a message in mini writing?
Right.
What the hell? Right. So it's just like the phone that they brought to me had that little lock on it. It's just like, it was tore up. It was tore up. I could never get out of that cell but 3 times a week. And that was 45 minutes for the sun deck and 15 minutes to shower. That was it. So I said, okay, that sun deck, I want equipment out there. If I'm going to be out there, I want special equipment. So I designed a stand-up bar. I designed a pull-up bar for wheelchairs. I designed a pull-up bar, a dip bar, everything like that, and a basketball court. They didn't have a basketball court out there. So that was all special housing. So they made my chair, everything out there. They gave me 2 chairs, part of the lawsuit, and then they dropped the lawsuit. So, but I'm pretty sure my stuff's still out there, because I was one of the first ones.
I'm gonna check it out, because they I know that this class action, the specific part of it was, I believe, over at Kern, and then a couple other places. A lot of folks were getting abused, right? And they were telling people they had a guy in a wheelchair, and they had him on the 2nd tier, right? Yeah. And so he had to climb up and down the tier. I'm pretty sure similar to what you had to go through, right? And what's up, Artie? All kinds of situations like that. And so finally, and folks were dying, folks were getting beat up. They were taking deaf people and we're taking them to committee. They can't fucking hear anything that they're saying because they're deaf. You know what I mean? And giving paperwork to blind people. They can't read the paperwork because they're blind. But there's also a lot of stuff specific about wheelchairs that sounds a lot like what you're talking about from years ago. So I wanted to do a spill on it anyways, and so that's kind of how I got into digging into it.
Have you've been to Corcoran, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they built a cell for me over there in the PHU. You know how the beds are side by side?
Yeah.
What they did was they flipped the bunk and they flipped it to the back of the cell. So it's just like they made it still out of cement, but they flipped it to the back of the cell. Mm-hmm. And then once I had all that area, I had all that area with my wheelchair. So it's just like it was a pretty cool design. I said, man, they should have thought of this a long time ago. That's the way they should do the bunks. You know, put them to the back of the cell. Yeah. You know, instead of side by side. I hated that design. The side by side cement blocks, man. That was a tore up design, man.
Well, I'm sure it was tore up for you in the chair. I could see, especially.
But because all I had to do was put my chair there. I couldn't move. I couldn't move because I couldn't put it in the middle because it was too small. Yeah. So it's just like, man, I hated that design.
Someone wants to know if they ever cell extracted over the treatment and did they ever cell extract over the treatment on disabled people like Jerry?
They got close. They got close when we flooded South Max because they was taking away our plastic. We knew they were going to take it away. That was before Kent and everybody got there. And we had set up this little youngster. He was in there for impersonated cops, right? But they didn't want him using the phones. He was a little crazy dude. So the little youngster was in the first year, and I said, "Hey, check it out. Flood that the officer station," because he was right there. Mm-hmm. So he got the shampoo bottles and started flooding it, right? So they put up a blanket. I said, all you gotta do is wet that blanket, it'll fall. Right? So he just kept on wetting the blanket and they got it soaked and it fell. And he got the officer's station again, right? And they were pissed, so they put up plastic. So we made him a poste, right? And he was hitting it. He started hitting it and he grabbed it and that sucker came down, he got it again. And then I was like, oh shit, it's quiet. It's quiet. I go, they're gonna come in, bro. I go, shampoo the front of your stinking cells. Yeah. I go, because they're coming in. And he goes, what does it mean they're coming in? And all of a sudden I heard the door pop and he's like, what the boom, 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 boom. They got him and I was just like, anybody want to go next? I was like, yeah, not me, I'm cool. Right. Yeah, they tore him up.
Here's a question. Here's a question I know you get asked. I mean, I know you answered this already, Jerry.
Yeah.
How'd you end up in a wheelchair?
How did I end up in the wheelchair? Well, my neighbor across the street, his 63 got stolen. And once the 63 got stolen, we found out on the streets who stole it. And we went to jam up to dude that stole it. He said he couldn't hotwire a car, so I went with him to hotwire the car, everything like that. And we stole a 64, got spokes, hydraulics, everything. We had it at the back of the truck. And dude knew he was going to get his ass beat once he got to the pad. Well, he's driving, and we're going over there by Lake Cunningham in the east side of San Jose. We're driving down one of the streets, and I only live like a block away. So he knows this. So he's driving like about 30, 40 miles an hour. He jumps out of the truck, and once he jumps out, we didn't even know what the hell was going on. We hit a tree, and I just remember flopping, hitting all kinds of hydraulics, everything like that, and doing the flip and hitting the road. And I tried to get up and run, but I couldn't breathe. All kinds of things were racing my mind. I couldn't breathe. You know, I had collapsed lung. I was bleeding internally. I had 7 broken ribs. I broke my back in 2 places. I was tore up. And then the homeboy picked me up. He was bleeding. He picked me up and carried me to my mom's pad. And then that's when I went to the hospital. So just like ever since then, I was crazy after that.
Man, if you ain't never had no broken ribs, man, broken ribs fucking hurt, man.
Yeah, they hurt. I had 7.
Hey, and then when you had yours broke, did you have to breathe into that thing?
Yeah.
to make sure your lung,
Did you have a tube?
Yeah.
Did you have a tube too?
Yeah, well, they had a breathing tube in me. They had a breathing tube in me because I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe. Oh, I had a collapsed lung. So it's just like that was doing the breathing for me. But it's just like I was kind of tore up because I couldn't even sit up. I couldn't sit up for like 2 months. Then they had a brace. I remember they used to come bring me in a bed, and it was like a pancake. They used to put the bed over you and then flip you. So when I stare straight up, I had these glasses where I could look at TV over there. It's just like, damn, it's just a little rough shit, rough shit to go through.
Man, like, that's crazy, bro. I think it's harder for somebody that has walked before, than before somebody that's born that isn't able to walk. You know what I mean? So you know what it feels like.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because it's just like
rough, it's rough, bro.
Yeah, because especially gangbanging and stuff like that. It didn't stop me. Look what I became. You know, it didn't stop me one bit. But it's just like I was just getting familiar with gangbanging. I was getting familiar with stealing cars, the destructive lifestyle. I was just barely, getting hooked on that. And then this came along, and I mean, it made me more of a menace. I didn't figure out as far as fighting. I didn't know how to fight. But I learned it real quick. It's just like I just had to look at the little skills, technique, hold my balance. Okay, I know how to fight now.
Jerry said he had a knockout, boy.
Yeah, I remember being the homeboy, Chino. He was an F-14er. He had an F-14 on his neck. He was a Filipino dude, and I remember me and him used to get him up in Vacaville, and I think it was H-wing. Yeah, H-wing. We should sock each other in the chest. See who would hit harder, right? We should be all red and just like bam. And I wasn't backing down. He wasn't backing down either. He had a heart, right? This is like people walk around like, man, you two are fools. I remember I boxed the homeboy Conejo, Mike Lebrez, may he rest in peace. But he was in Vacaville with us. He wasn't a pro or carnal. He was just, he had got stabbed in Tracy. They paralyzed him. The Emma did, and he was like partially paralyzed. Anyway, we were out on the streets, and he goes east side versus west side, and I was like, okay. I go, I'm from the east side, you from the west side. What's up? Let's get him up. He goes, we'll put the boxing gloves on you. So the homeboy had him. He was from the west side, and my homeboy had me. He was from the east side, right? Man, I lit him up. Bing, 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 bing. I was just like, I didn't give him a chance. He was bleeding, everything. Like he didn't get one punch in. He's like, and then his trainer came over and he goes, man, I'm from the east side. He goes, hey, with all that, he goes, I'm a defector. He goes, Jerry, put hands on you.
That's
yeah. Shakey's or Vito's? Who had better pizza, Shakey's or Vito's? Vito's. Yeah, Vito's.
Are you going live after this, Rascal?
I don't know. I'm enjoying this one for right now. So let's see. Let's take it one step.
They want to know if you got any kids, Jerry.
Yeah, no. I wasn't out long enough. Yeah, it's just like I wasn't out. I can have kids, but I wasn't out long enough. Yeah. And my ex got pregnant. Was Spokio. Spokio. Remember I told you that little story? About Spokio, and I had a chance to put a green light. She got pregnant from him, and it's just like I had a chance. I had a chance to hurt the boy, but I didn't want to. And I was thinking back the other day, right, when I was mentioning that story about the homeboy being with my wife, and I remember I was giving him a ride one day, and I remember showing him a picture of my wife, right, because I had her picture in my car, and he goes, "Who's that?" And I go, "That's my wife." And he goes, "All right," and he still was with her. He didn't know I was a bro, but he still was with her. I was like, man, this is a coward, man. It's just like, the girl, I mean, there's two to tango, of course. There's always two to tango. But, she was, she was gonna get cut loose anyway. You know, whatever she did, that's on her. You could go out there, go ahead. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't gonna kill nobody for you, because there's other girls out there, you know, and other girls were all up on me, you know, and she didn't like that fact. She wanted her cake and eat it too. So anytime we split up, that was her biggest downfall. Yeah, it's just like, I'm gonna get you back, this and that. But a bro should know better.
Yeah.
Bro, it's just like, especially a friend, especially if he's just a homeboy, you should know better, man. You should know that she's my old lady. You know, just like, there's other women out there.
Right.
I wouldn't do that to anybody.
A lot of homeboys are dirty like that, man.
Yeah. Just
So
like, what?
that brings up a question I had earlier, but I forgot. You were talking about, I think you were talking about Lucky and how with the chocolate hit, right? And Lucky had all these females, and if he was messing with one, nobody else could type thing, right?
Yeah. Actually, there was only one female.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that was gonna be my question, because you were saying like, oh, he's one of Lucky's girls, or she's one of Lucky's girls.
Yeah.
And Lucky had a thing with this girl, so I was curious if he had more than one at a time. I guess the question was, but maybe it doesn't apply now.
Well, there was two. There was two. The Bobby's cousin, and then the other girl that most of the guys got killed over.
Yeah. So if somebody's with, if somebody has 2 or 3 hyenas, right? Then is it the same standard in terms of not messing with another homeboy's lady, right? Is that the same standard if homeboy's messing with a whole bunch of women, right? Are they all covered by that blanket then, in terms of like, oh, Chocolate messed with that broad, but Lucky was messing with different girls, you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of times when dudes have multiple ladies, there's one that's kind of like, hey, that's my old lady, and then there's some other hyenas that I fool around with, right? I could see it applying to the one that, hey, that's my old lady, but does that apply also to the side chicks?
Yeah, if I'm right, Jerry, real quick, you remember when in the early 90s when they had the street activities, it was a lot different, man. You had it spoke on it, it addressed that specifically. You had your wife or your lady, and then you had mistresses. That's what it called them, mistresses. So I believe it's what you're asking, but it didn't lower the standards. It applied, unless I'm wrong, Jerry.
No, that applied, but at the same time, it's just like I think with Lucky's situation is he found other reasons.
Yeah,
you know, he found other reasons to take a person out. It wasn't jealousy. He would make up reasons, like for instance, Larry Valles, Smiley, right? Larry Valles wasn't going to pay rent. He told him, "I'm not a punk. I'm not going to pay rent." And he got shot in the head right 2 seconds after. You know, so it's just like, but he went over there with the intentions that his old lady was there with Larry Valles. So it's just like, so that was just, he wasn't kicking down. He wasn't kicking down.
Yeah, he's gonna get these dudes anyways. It's just whatever the reason. So, Box, that's fact. I had never heard that. I never functioned in the streets with a regiment. So you're saying in the regiment training, so to speak, right? That was addressed, huh?
Yeah. This was the street activities back in the early 90s. I remember when I was getting indoctrinated on it. It specifically spoke of your wife, girlfriend / mistresses. You know what I mean? So yeah, if that's who you were messing with,
right?
They were off limits, man. Your mistresses, and they emphasized that mistresses, they were to be, they were hands off too, man. Homeboys couldn't, if you were seeing somebody, it would be disrespectful for another hermano or another carnal to get at your mistress, bro.
Okay, I mean that makes sense, but there's almost like another set of bonds for street functions that expands on the application of the behind the wall stuff in a street context, right?
Yeah, this is when you remember when they used to call them. They didn't used to call them regiments. They used to call them colonias.
Yeah.
Yeah, That's when it was a whole. I started studying all that stuff back in like 1990. Yeah, man.
Yeah, because there's a lot of history that different people were schooling different.
I was in juvenile hall, but yeah.
In 90.
Yeah, 90.
Yeah.
In 90, I was juvenile hall.
What's your CDC number, Bob?
E26821.
Oh, okay. Mine's C98153.
Well, the C number.
Yeah.
31609.
Yeah.
When did you first start going to
85? 85?
Yeah, see, that's you had a fucking 3-4 year jump on me, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how old are you?
55. I had just ready to turn 18. I was still 17.
Yeah, you're 3 years older than me.
Yeah.
And you look younger than me.
Yeah.
Old piece of work, man.
Yeah, just like
3 years older and about 3 years older of a CDC number. Because you got, you know what I mean? Like,
because you got to figure they sent me to YA. That's how young I was. They sent me to YA, and then they couldn't house me. And my wheelchair came into effect.
Because they couldn't accommodate you because you were in a wheelchair.
Yeah, so they sent me to prison.
Yeah, they
sent me as an M number. So it's just like, I went as an M number, but quick they sent me to stick in prison.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, I can't win for losing. Right. It's just like this wheelchair is just ain't cool.
Right.
Yeah, but they found their way of of trying to accuse me of stuff, when I was in there. And I don't blame them because it's just like they couldn't catch me with anything. Sure. It's just like the clavo, anything. They couldn't catch me. But that's why, like you said about old NF members, there was an NF member out of Stockton named Pretty T. And the day before I was supposed to go home, the day before I was supposed to go home, there was a hit on him. Right, because he wasn't kicking down the clavo, and he was bringing all kinds of heroin. So they put out a hit on him, and there was some dude on here the other day saying about if I knew Night Owl, Mark Zavala, right? And Night Owl was the one that was supposed to go do the hit, and he didn't. He Pretty T ran. Night Owl came back with the knife towards me. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I'm going home tomorrow. What the hell's the matter with you, right? And I got busted, right? I ended up going to the hole. My wife came to pick me up. It wasn't happening, and it's just like I ended up doing another year behind, that stupid knife, And I was supposed to go home the next day. My mom was ready for me. Everybody was ready for me, and it's just like I can't tell them I'm gang affiliated. I can't tell them I'm nothing. I just have to roll with the punches. I get out, and then that's when. I hook up with Angel from Daly City, and I'm kicking it. And, I stay under the radar for a good, 6 months? 6 months to a year, I think. And that's when everybody started getting out. Everybody started trickling out. Bobby, Louie, Lucky, all these dudes, Skip. Everybody Skip was already out. But everybody just started trickling out. And I'm like, oh, what the hell? Before you know, we have heavy hitters out there.
Right.
Yeah, we have some, and people with the same mindset. Right.
Went from flying under the radar to one of the most storied few years in NF history in the street.
Oh yeah. Especially they're kicking us down whatever we needed. Drugs, guns, anything we needed, we had. There was, I think in our artillery there was like 20 guns, a couple of shotguns. Anything for us to use, and we kept it at safe house.
And there's a lesson in there, right? For cats. I mean, there's tons of lessons in your life experience and in Boxer's life experience. But if you can go out to the streets and I'm a homeboy and I'm I'm functioning, but ain't really a whole lot going on, and maybe you're kind of flying under the radar, right? And dibble dabbling. But you don't have control over what that future looks like, right? If you're in that circle, you don't have control over how that circle's going to go. All of a sudden, somebody shows up. All of a sudden, a couple people show up. And now, when you, and obviously I'm not saying this applies to you specifically, but hypothetically to the person today getting out, you can think shit's gonna go one way, but let somebody else get out. Let somebody get in contact in your region. Let somebody move over there, and your whole world is flipped upside down. And now all of a sudden, it's not kid games. It's not a little bit of hustling and kicking some money back. Now all of a sudden, people are dying, and now you're doing shit that is setting you up for a potential, death penalty Fed case, because you want to play, right? Because it seemed like a good idea, and you thought you had some control over your involvement, but you don't. Oh.
Who's that?
You don't recognize him?
That's me.
Pretty T?
Huh? Oh, that's Pretty T. That's Tony Sanchez.
That's Pretty T right there.
Yeah, I couldn't see it. It's blurry.
Here's another one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's in the white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about this guy? You reckon? Oh, I know you reckon. You asked about him.
Oh, that's Tiny Contreras. Yeah, that's Tiny Contreras.
And then you
You know
recognize
Tiny
this guy?
is? No, who is he?
It's another C, man. Former C was in Corcoran.
Yeah, he looks familiar. Yeah, Tiny. I don't know if you're familiar with him. You're familiar with that story about Cheyenne, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tiny was the one that stabbed him when he got thrown over the tier. Yeah, Tiny's the one that finished doing him. But Tiny still had his paperwork from 1972. I used to clown him all the time.
I heard recently from somebody the narrative around what happened with Cheyenne, at least as I've heard it, oftentimes includes crackers, right? Crackers is involved. Yeah. And I talked to somebody, and they said there was 5 COs present on the tier, or 5 COs that witnessed Cheyenne get hit, right? And multiple people were identified. 2 hitters were identified, right? A Joker, and somebody else. And then, like you said, the youngster on the bottom that stabbed him. And they say Cracker's name never came up as being involved in the hit. In terms of him being on the tier or him being, in the area, but in terms of him being involved in the actual hit on Cheyenne physically.
Shit, I heard he was.
Yeah, they're saying there's no reports, there's no paperwork.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good on him.
Yeah, that's good on him.
But they said it was what they had 5 COs that watched it go down.
Yeah,
I heard Chicken Legs was involved in that too, man. Or he was,
I heard Crackers grabbed him. Crackers is the one that had a hold on him.
Yeah, I've heard.
Like, I don't know if he stuck him or whatever, but have you ever seen his Crackers? How big he is?
No, I mean I've seen pictures.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Crackers is a big boy. It's just like there's been a couple bros in Garnaza that tried to hit Crackers, and it came up short.
I've heard.
Yeah,
I've heard a lot of stories, man. One where he cut the bars. Somebody had made a piece and tried to get him, some youngster, and he took the piece and went back and slid it underneath the fella's cell and was like, "You better send somebody else." And there's all kinds of stories of shit with Crackers. But yeah, I thought it was a trip, man. They're like, nah, he's a recognizable guy. If he was involved, it would have been clear. And they said, nah, Crackers had no role in that hit on Cheyenne. That's just folklore.
He's still behind the walls.
Yeah,
he's still behind the walls. Yeah, it's just like he's been down for a long time.
Smokey.
Zemron?
Nah, man, his last name is Smokey. This cat right here he's from San Jose.
Man, he looks familiar.
Yeah, man, I can't remember his fucking name. Cozio, I think.
Looks like Shorty Mac. But Shorty Mac has a big old 14 right here. Yeah, there's a lot of dudes that just like Fresno, for instance, back in the 80s. It was kind of like the Bulldogs weren't even into the equation yet.
Right.
They were there, but they weren't in the equation. They were our enemies. The canines, bulldogs, Sureños, all of them were, our enemies at that time. But it's just like, or those who fraternize with the cops, it goes on and on. But it's just like, but mostly some F-14ers, because the F-14ers started saying, okay, we're F-14ers. But we're like, okay, who are they? F-14ers or bulldogs? So we had to find out, because I was, like I said, I was in the reception center. Everybody that was in from Fresno all the way went up to Vacaville, so they would have to come to the reception center in Vacaville with us. So it's just like we found out who was on their own, whatever, right? And that's when we got, started seeing, okay, they are forming their own group. They are forming, bulldogs or whatever, So I caught it firsthand. So before the bulldogs were even formed, so just like because they were F-14ers. So, but a lot of homeboys, they were good homeboys, and they just got thrown in that mix, and they got hit because they were from Fresno, whatever. And it's just like they were with us, but they got hit because they were Fresno, and of course you're gonna go with them. That's their hometown, So it's just like, but some stood, like I said, I had a regiment out there in Fresno, so it was just like this time when I got busted in '92. Yeah.
I imagine that would be rough, man. You make a good point of folks from Fresno that are homeboys, but then your whole county, your whole city, your whole county is making this shift, right? And so you don't got no hate for the NF or Norteños or whatever. There's no animosity really there. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is where you're from. You know what I mean? And probably all your childhood friends, everybody else that you know. That'd be a tough call, because I would imagine for some of them, you're not really turning on. Your intent is not to turn on anybody, right? You're just you're kind of going with the flow.
Because we wanted to make that structure work, and it's just like that was the only way it was going to work is we had to tune it as a fine oil machine.
And look out!
It was a fine oil machine. As soon as we started schooling bros and everything like that, Fresno went along with themselves, which they were going to do anyway. But we kept most of that Central Valley.
Look how small Cheyenne was, man. Look how small that dude is.
Yeah, they made him look to be all big.
Right.
American me. He was small.
He's tiny dude, man.
Yeah.
He's as small as tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like he was tiny. Because Tiny was small. He was only like 5'1". Yeah, 5'1". So it's just like he was small. Ro, what's up, Ro? Yeah, I don't know Ro myself. I watch your channel, him and Fluffles.
Oh, you know who that is right there? That's Tiny right there.
Oh, the small one, small dude.
The small one.
Yeah, that's Tiny. Yeah, that's what I just said.
That's Manzana's right there.
Oh, is that right?
Colon.
Yeah.
And then that's Joker, Frank Mendoza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See how small Tiny was?
And Tiny was a little dude, man.
Yeah, he was small.
Cheyenne was just as big as him, man.
Yeah. Tiny
just like him.
Tiny used to make me laugh because he's like 80 years old, 70-something years old. But he used to speak in creases, close down to a T. The little baby cubs. Every time he came out of that cell, he had to look sharp. Shoe shine, everything. Just like he was a real OG gangster.
Yeah, there's another Tiny in the chat. I've chopped it up with them offline, and they say they're 5'1". That might be the bar right there. Is if you're 5'2", Holmes, you can't be Tiny. But anything under 5'2", that's your name.
Yeah.
No, that was Tiny. That was Tiny. Manzanas and Joker Mendoza, who was asking about Julio. That's who that was. It's not Chalo.
Shorty Mac's name was Shorty Mac's name. Daniel, not Eddie. Daniel.
Shorty Mac.
Yeah. His name was Daniel. But he had a life sentence. Got out, doing fine, man. He was working at a Walmart right there on Story Road in San Jose, and he's dropout, everything like that. But he's doing cool. He's a little old man, but he got busted for sneaking. He couldn't let go of that sack. Couldn't let go of that drugs. Got busted with some drugs. Went back with they reinstated his life sentence. So it's just like that sucked. You know, just he had that life sentence, beat it, and went back for drugs. You know.
Give me 1 second, fellas. Hold on.
That would suck to get that life sentence back.
Hell yeah.
Like, just like you fought hard to get it off, and then you end up getting it back.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker, man.
Yeah, man. You had people on here. Yeah, like 346, something like that. You had a lot of people on here.
That's right. DJ See No Evil.
Yeah. There's a lot of dudes that I know. You know, Kukui. Yeah, I know Kukui.
What about Chili Willie? I think I know Chili Willie.
Yeah, I was with Kukui. Who was I with Kukui? No, that was Kukui from Song. I know both of them. Kukui from Song was. He picked up a case in Mule Creek, as a matter of fact, a dope case. Yeah, he picked up a dope case. There was a lot of people, a lot of lifers picking up that dope cases.
For picking up what? A dope case
cases?
over there in Mule Creek?
Yeah, I remember this one dude. What the hell was his name? Anyway, his name's not important. He hit the clavo, right? He was a lifer. And he didn't know what clavo was hit. So he got PCP and he got crystal meth, right? But he didn't know which one was which when he got back. He didn't know which balloon was which. So he put what he thought it was, he put the water to it, slammed it, and it was a PCP. He was in a coma for a stinking 30-something days. Because can you imagine slamming a PCP? Oh, my God.
Yeah, nah, man. I can't imagine smoking that shit. Slamming it?
I used to smoke it a lot. Yeah, I used to smoke it a lot.
Hey, good looking out at Pancho Villa.
Yeah, I used to smoke it because I used to.
Let them know, man. Got 331 in the house, man, and only 152 likes. Come on, man.
What's up? Gotta press that like button. Don't cost you a thing.
Yeah, man, it's free. I'm telling you, man.
Mundo. Oh, man. Mundo. Man, I knew a couple of Mundos. Damn.
Yeah, a lot of homies. Yeah.
Big Blue,
a lot of homies from San Jose did PCP, man. That was
PCP
San Jose was KJ capital back in the fucking 80s when the Blancos were around, man. That's where we get all our KJ from.
Yeah, John Blanco. We used to get orange rock, pink rock. We used to get all kinds of rocks. It's just like any rock there was, we used to get. And
man, remember
Little Weasel had it all, so he used to supply us.
Hey, it's crazy, bro. I ran into Blanco, James Blanco.
Yeah,
in Queen. Yeah. I ran into him in 1989 in San Quentin. And that motherfucker had leños in there, bro. He gave me a leño. We sat at the same table, right?
Yeah.
Sat at the same table, and he was like, bro, hey, you want one?
Yeah.
Like, hell, now you ain't got no fucking leños. He was like, shit, slip me a leño, bro. Swear to God, man.
Yeah. Flaco said Palacios too, yeah. Palacios. You know, they were the two families that had it, the Blancos and the Palacios, you know, because the Palacios used to have JPs. That's JPs was that bar
just parolees.
Yeah, just parolees. they used to run that bar, but they had the
Right.
KJ too. They had the PCP, and then the Blancos had it. Blancos, they had a restaurant. It was called Coronas.
Yeah.
On downtown. I went there.
I think
I don't
you're
know what
talking
happened
about.
I don't know what happened to it.
I think you're talking about Tony Herrera. Jay. Yeah, that's what was that other place? Jerry. You had everybody used to go there, man. JP's just
Yeah,
There was
JP. I mean, there's all kinds of doghouse. Doghouse. Everybody used
Wasn't
to
it-
go to. Players, place.
Yeah, that's you know where
They had the Derby. They had Maria's. All these are closed. I think Maria's is still open, but it's just like all these were back in the day. Everybody used to go to these bars.
Hey, good looking out, Raphael. Appreciate you, man. Hey, you know Lencho used to they used to praise him, bro, at the place. Like
Did
that
they?
was oh man.
I don't know why.
Every time we used huh?
I don't know why.
Every time we used to go out there to San Jose, man, me, Smokey, Baby Joker, Chewy from Frisco, we'd all go out there, man, and he'd always want to take us to the place, man. But they used to fucking praise him over there, man. He knew the bartenders and everybody that worked there, but they used to, he had him thinking he was God over there, man.
Yeah, it's
You
just
know
like
what
the wonder is there were a bunch of drunks over there. They're always drunk.
Yeah,
Just like because JP's and the place was across the street from each other, but everybody used to kick it at JP's, and the place it didn't get that much clientele. But
Yeah.
JP's were kicking it. JP's you couldn't even move in that place, just like
you know what's fucked up? Huh?
well, no, I used to always start trouble over there. I was a shit starter.
You know what was fucked up about the place though, man, is a couple times. Well, I remember at least one time when we were in there, we're all on parole, and when the cops come, they come from both sides, bro. Because there's a front and a back. There's two doors you can come in, right? In the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one on First Street. One on Second Street, one on First Street.
Yeah. Well, when the cops used to come, they used to come through both doors, man, and
oh, you're a trap.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You go in the bathroom and that was it, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I going to tell you about? Oh, let me tell you a story about JP's. One day I was kicking back and I told the homeboy was Spidey Rositas. He was a bro, good bro. And my mom was there. And I told my mom, I said, hey, homeboy's going to give you a ride home. Because I was with some girls, right? And I said, homeboy's going to give us a ride home. We're going to go to the pad and kick it, but I'm going to go kick it back at the 7-Eleven. I said, meet us over there. So I told Smiley, I said, check this out, Smiley. Go over there real quick, and then I take my mom home. He goes, all right, bro. So I pull out with the girls, and I jam the 7-Eleven. Next thing I know, Smiley comes jamming in the car with my mom and his girlfriend. And he has a knife on his stick in his mouth. I'm like, what the hell? And then he pulls up and he goes, bro, come here, bro. So I went over there. I said, what's up, bro? He goes, man, because I had to take two dudes out. I'm like, huh? He goes, I just left you 5 minutes ago. He goes, I know. He goes, one of the girls started shit with your mom. He goes, so I told the girl to lay off. The dude socked me. So I pulled out my knife and hit him in his neck. And then the other dude said, hey, that's my brother. And he starts going to swing. And he goes, and I suck him in his neck. And I'm like, come on, let's jam. I told the girls, hey, bye, see you later. I go, I got a jam. So he got busted. He got busted like.
Oh, he really hit him?
Yeah, he hit him. He killed one, but the other one lived. So he got like 18 years. Nobody would testify on him. So he got 18 years for it. And then they tried to come and have me testify, right? Yeah. What they did was they knocked on the door. I was living right there on McLaughlin. And they knocked on the door. And they said, it's Domino's Pizza. I go, I didn't order no damn pizza. And boom, the door went flying. I fly out of my chair, right? They picked me up. They had me handcuffed. And then they had my mom handcuffed. So they said, your mom has warrants. What do you want to do? And I said, hey, she's a big girl. She can handle herself. I go, what do you want me to do? She's the one that got the warrants. And they're like, you're not gonna stick up for your mom and go talk to us? I say, hell no. I ain't got nothing to talk to you guys about. Shit, take her. So they took her. My mom was all pissed off at me. She had to spend Thanksgiving in there. It's just like, Mom, that's the way it goes. Got to go. She only did like 3 weeks, but it's just like, but Smiley got 18 years.
Yeah. Tiny Two Angels, holler at Sandman, homie.
Angel Spencer. Yes. I know Angel Spencer.
I got Lencho's tampon. Bloody, these guys, man. Lencho's bloody tampon. Hey, matter of fact, Lencho's puto mark. We need your address, man. Send you what you want in the raffle, homie. So if you're watching,
Lencho's Puto Mark. That's a code name. Lencho's Puto Mark.
Yeah, Lencho's Puto Mark. Lencho's bloody tampon, man.
And it's a trip how people get their names, right? It's just like how popular names come through, like sliding through the cracks. That's what Lencho did. He slid through the cracks. You know, Lencho was nothing. And I don't know how he became a carnal. I don't know who pulled him. That's a mystery to me. Just like, but you could tell he had no schooling.
I don't know who pulled him.
Yeah, it's just like I didn't even pull him to be a bro. He was a homeboy. I guess he was just at the right place at the right time.
I think I took care of that box.
Yeah.
That's it. Come on, man.
Machado. No, I know.
I don't know why nobody else got that. I mean, I don't know how many mods are in there, but that. Come on now.
It's funny, man.
Yeah, I know Angel Spencer, Freddie Spencer, Linda Spencer. I know all the Spencers. They're Silent's cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Silent Bobby Lopez's cousins. They just live right there by Polka Way, Saucer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. Freddie and Angel, they were no good, and it's just like, but they still stick up for Silent. Silent's the one that put a green light on him. She's just like, but they still stick up for it. You go, that's my cousin. I'm like, your cousin's the one that put a green light on you, dummy.
Hey, where's Terry Sakamoto at?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard that name in a while.
I know he's doing live somewhere. At least that's what I heard, man.
Yeah, I haven't heard that name in a while. Jerry Sakamoto.
What about Simone Paul? You remember him?
No.
Simone Paul.
There was another one. I think it's Terry Childs. No. Yeah.
You know Coach. You said you knew Cochise, huh?
Yeah. I know Cochise. Rodriguez. He didn't even run by Cochise. He ran by Johnny Boy.
Yeah.
Johnny Boy Rodriguez.
He should be out.
He is out. Yeah, he's out.
He's out.
Yeah, he's out. Yeah, he's been out. Yeah, he's doing good for himself. Yeah, hopefully he continues doing good for himself. Yeah, I started laughing when all that stuff happened with Chavo. You know, because I didn't know Chavo. I didn't know nothing about him until that incident when he came. I already knew he was coming because it's just like my attorney told me that somebody else. So I was just like, okay. And he said Anthony Jacobs.
Yeah, man. I was with Chavo, man, for about 2 years in the Bay. He was sold up with Big Rock.
Oh, was he? Oh, for Salinas, huh?
Yeah, David Ramirez.
Yeah.
And then I ended up selling up with Big Rock when Chavo left, man. But Chavo tried to slide through, bro. When I was in Quentin, and he tried to slide through. I already knew what time it was with the man, but he tried to slide through, and I caught when he was there, man, and then he disappeared. Yeah. When I got at him, he disappeared. I already know what time it is with you, bro. You know, don't try to slide because he was trying to play the homies out of pocket.
Oh, was he?
And he just got there that same day, and he reached out and he was trying to get a care package, and he was trying to represent himself like he was still an active C. Yeah. And I was RC over there, man, and they shot his name up there to me. And I was, where's he at? And he's like, he's down there on the second tier. Nah, don't shoot nothing at that dude.
No. Where's he from?
Hayward? What happened to Big Rock, huh? Yeah, we got caught up. So I don't know when he started cooperating, but He was yeah, yeah. I don't know when he started cooperating, but he was up there in the Bay, and apparently he was working with the feds um, while he was up there in the Bay,
Yeah.
and he was doing it through the mail. And apparently, one of his letters got sent out, and it was returned to sender. And
Oh yeah.
there was Emero up there
Yeah.
with the last name, same name as his, David
That's
Ramirez.
cool, dude.
They shot his letter to that Emero, right? He shot it to fucking Stork, and I think Stork was sold up with Silver. But yeah, man, that's how he got his covers pulled.
What's Silver?
Silver from Fatima, I think he's from I know he's from Tulare County.
Yeah, TC.
Gomez.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know
Silver from
Fatima?
Song. No, Silver from Song. That was his name.
The only one I know of is the one from TC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver was Silver. He just did a lot of time. What the hell is his name, man?
Stork.
G-Spot was over there.
Chispa, Fresno. Yeah.
No, this one was from Salas. He was sold up with Stork too, and he laid it down too.
Yeah, Chispas. There was another Chispas from Fresno. He's a yeah. He's a OG. Jaybird. You remember Jaybird?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
I did time with all them dudes. In fact, somebody had mentioned earlier about Treetop from
I
Oakland.
thought that's who Sleepy hit.
Yeah.
That's who he hit, right?
That was the same Treetop. I said, hell yeah, that was the same Treetop. You all right, Josh?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I gotta take a bite real quick.
Yeah.
But no,
take a bite.
I'm navigating.
You need some sugar?
No, I'm good. I'm navigating some stuff in texting and daily.
It's all good. And who did Adam Karras get caught up with? Jerry? On what case he get caught up in?
Bandit?
Yeah, Bandit.
Yeah, he got caught up with Paul Farfan.
Oh, that's who he got caught up on that case?
Adam was in love with my ex. Man, everybody was in love with my ex. I don't know. They could have her. It's just like see, Paul was with her. Paul was with her after I had dropped out. Paul Farfan ended up being with her, right? And then I was just like, go ahead. She just wanted to be part of that lifestyle, I guess. And then her and Adam had a thing, right? And my ex, she was pretty, but so he ended up being with her, and then Adam fell in love with her. So of course he didn't like the way Paul was treating her. Then Paul owed the bank. It was all kinds of shit that was going down at that time, and nobody could really send us filters or anything like that. But Adam took it upon himself to take him out. So that's
my boy right there, Josh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He took him upon himself to take him out. So that's how Paul ended up getting killed.
That's how Paul ended up getting killed?
Yeah, from Adam. Adam and Louis both got him. But they were both telling on each other in the back of a police car. Literally in the back of a police car, they both got busted. And they were both, hey, he shot him. No, he shot him. And they both had the gun, and they both shot him. So it's just like, they shot with two guns. And it's just like, come on, both of you guys have a gun. You guys both shot him. It's just like, man, where do you get these criminals? Seriously. I was just like, man, these criminals are tore up.
Yeah, Joe,
hopefully all these dudes are out though,
man. I can be a talkative guy. Obviously, you guys that have been around know that. But I also can sit back and listen, man. I get to be a student in these conversations. I'm thankful.
This guy.
Yeah, that's what these channels are for. Actually, is just because what we're doing is just like we're helping these kids out.
Yeah.
And that's why I like your channel, Josh, because you speak a lot of good quality on your channel. It's just like good content, and it's just that's why I'm glad that me and Boxer hooked you up with me, because it's just like, man, I like your content on your channel. The content last night with the CDCR, you know, a lot of people don't realize, you know, the advocates that they have, you know, and there's a lot of damage that'll do to lifers. You know, lifers that want to do good, you know, are trying just to lay low, like you said, Garnaza, just trying to lay low, trying to do their time, trying to get out, trying just to, you know, that madness is madness. I'm not trying to get caught up in that madness. I'm just trying to kick it, you know. So it's hard. It's hard not to get caught up in that madness. Yeah. Because when I was towards the end of my sentence, I remember I was like, I got 2 years left. I have a date now. You know, I don't have that life no more. That life's taken off me. I have a date, you know, so I can look at this date, you know. But if I know, and if I screw up in any way, that life will come back. So it's just like I'm gonna have to, you know, just bow down to anybody. But I'm not a punk still. I'm not a punk. I'm not you know. You guys are gonna know, because if I'm gonna do the rest of my life in prison, you guys are gonna be made an example of. Plain and simple. You know, if you guys are gonna take me there, it's gonna be taken there. So, but the only one that can take you there is yourself.
That's fucked up, though. Anybody that puts you in that position, bro.
Oh yeah,
you know, yeah. I don't think what a lot of people don't understand is somebody like you that you're on lifetime parole, right?
Yeah. No, I had 7 years for a 25 life. It's either 7 to life. That's what it is. 7 to life. But they have if you do good after 7 years, they let you off. So it's just like, so I did good after 7 years and they let me off. So it's just a happy day of my life.
So if you get caught up right now, can they reactivate that life?
No.
So, okay, so you're good then.
I'm done.
We have no tail at all. You're clear.
No,
100%.
Yeah, I'm done. As of 2 years ago, I was done.
I didn't know that about life for parole. Because like for me, it was a 3-year max. I was never a lifer, obviously, but
no, I was on life for parole.
3-year max.
I was on life for parole because you have your 5-year parole, you have your 3-year parole, 5-year parole, but for a murder, it's either 5 or 7. You know, and you have to do straight clean time. You can't bring them nothing. You know, and it's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I brought a dirty bottle to him. It's just like, I brought a dirty bottle because I got caught up in the mix. It's just like, I didn't blame nobody but myself. But I thought they were going to take me back. And I went and told my parole officer, go ahead, take me back. I'm good. Right? And he goes, take you back where? I'm like, that's not what you do? And he goes, nah. He goes, you have to go to the drug program. I mean, we just go to NA for a year. I'm like, serious? He goes, yeah. I go, I'm doing that anyway.
Right.
Like, all right.
You're like, that works.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that about lifers and stuff, and the lady yesterday, for those that don't know, there's this group. It's a Facebook group. If you guys are on Facebook, I encourage you to go join the group. And it's called We Are Their Voices. And it's this lady started it, Renee. Excuse me. And it started around kind of the virus thing, right? But all these people are wives, you know, sisters, mothers, daughters, you know, kids. They have kids too, you know, sons and daughters that have loved ones that are incarcerated, and they've turned into a force, man. Anybody that knows, anybody that's had a lady that's rocked with them doing time, right, or anything like that, you know how down, right, how ride or die these folks can get, and so they've built a group of family that has people locked up everywhere, and now they're fighting the integration, and not over politics. You know, for them, this active, inactive, SNY, GP, dropout, this click, that click, they don't give a fuck, man. You know, to them, it's their husband that's locked up, it's their brother that's locked up, it's their son that's locked up, and none of that other shit matters. They just want them home. And so they've been fighting CDC on this integration stuff big time. And a lot of other organizations and that kind of stuff have shined them on and even kind of been obstruction. But so she was on yesterday talking about that. I know that I think she's made the round to a few channels, which is good. You know, the more her voice gets out there, the better. But I just want them home. And they have an event in Sacramento in July 11th. I'll be there. You know, if you're local, I would suggest you pull up. But I've been talking to some of these guys, Jerry, that are on various different yards, right? And they're saying the same thing, right? Like, look, we're prepared for the guerra, right? We're ready, but we don't fucking want it. You know, we want our dates, we want to go home. And these are dudes that have been around 20 some odd years as well, that are in these general population yards. And we don't want no smoke, man. We're going to do what we have to do if they put us in a position to have to do it. But we don't want this, you know? And I'm sure it's the same, you know, like you're saying, I'm sure on the SNY yards or the inactive yards or whatever, you got a lot of killers over there that they're going to do what they got to do if they're put in a situation, but folks don't want it, you know?
Yeah. It's just like, there's a lot of lifers that just want to do their time.
Yeah.
Just give me education, give me vocation, whatever, and just let me do my vote. Let me go home after the 8-hour day, shower, do my little yard time at night, go home and kick back in my cell and call it quits. You know, I had a routine. Every prison I went to, I had a routine. You know, and you got to make your own routine, but it's just like get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, start your day, blam, do whatever you got to do. And unless it's a lockdown, you know, go to your vote, get as many votes as you can. Yeah. You know, I had one in building maintenance and electrical. You know, and then I said, go to your vocational training. You know, study whatever you got to do to study. You know, and then at the end of the day, you're tired. Get your little yard time, get your exercise, whatever. Because I used to do like 10 miles a day in my wheelchair, just willing. You know, and it's just like it builds up your traps, everything. So, and then my little dips, whatever, pull-ups, you know, and, you know, your little sandbag. So, I have my little routine. So, once I have my little routine, just like, I was done by the end of the night, take a shower at 9, and lock it up. You know, I wasn't on that phone too much until I got close to the end. And then I gave my wife a taste of her own medicine. I was with her niece. Like, okay. All right. So I pulled her. So it's just like, I had a 3-year relationship with her. It's just like, she's 10 years younger than me. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. I was like, all right, cool.
Right.
She came up. She got at me. I didn't get at her. She got at me. So I was just like, all right, cool. We could do this.
Right.
Right. I paroled to her house. So it's just like,
so there you go.
Said, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I had to.
Okay, right.
Yeah, it's just like she being in here for 2 decades, coming out. I gotta be with somebody.
Right. But but that's the part that it's funny you mentioned the routine, and for you guys out there that got kids, man, or teenagers or whatever, that's the same way you keep folks out of trouble in the streets. Right. And it's not foolproof. It doesn't work 100% of the time. Just like if you have a routine and stay out of the mix in prison, it doesn't work 100% of the time. But keep them busy. Keep them in school. Keep them in after school stuff. Keep them. So it's a trip, Jerry, like what you're saying about, hey, at the end of the day, I'm tired. I just want to lay down. Right. Yeah. And that's the hope for folks that you know, raising kids, or if you get out of prison, you're trying to stay out of trouble.
What the hell did that just do?
No. You're really tweaking on something.
Right.
My mouse is tweaking, man.
Yeah.
But these lifers want to go home. I did a video about it a while back, but you're reminding me that gets missed in this conversation. You know, we all these conversations about what's going to happen if this group finds that group, and what's going to happen if these people go to that yard. And that's all interesting conversation, but they're real life fucking people. You know what I mean? They're real life people, no matter what they claim, no matter what they've done, no matter where they've been. And they want to go home.
Yeah.
Right. And it, who's the baddest? All that shit don't matter out here.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, because I'm not bringing my resume out here. It's just like I'm done with all that.
Right.
I would sit back and listen to these little youngsters. Nobody knew who I was, but I'd kick back and listen to them. They're like, oh yeah, I put in work. Oh yeah, but I'm down for this. I'm down for that. And I'll just sit there like, man, you don't even know what I've been through. You have no idea. You have no idea what the shit I've been through. It's just like, if I open my mouth, you guys would trip. It's just like, I'll just keep my mouth shut and let you guys be all that you could be. You know, it's just like, you guys want to be a gangster? Go ahead, be a gangster. You know, tell me what a gangster is. You know, tell me, you know, what thugging is all about. You're 18 years old, 17 years. You haven't even begun to put in work. You haven't even begun to start that journey. You know, I'm 30 some years in. I'm still doing it. You know, it's just like, and not doing it, just like still living, still having them beliefs, still, you know. But I don't want to be that gangster no more. I don't want to be that thug no more. I don't want to have that resume no more. You know, but it's going to be there. It attracts people. You know, just like all these people on YouTube, you know, seeing at my story and stuff like that. It attracts people, but what's a bigger message? You know, what do I have on the tail end of it?
Right.
You know, it's just like, that's not the person I want to be. Like today when I started my artwork, okay, maybe I can find somebody in there that, you know, give back to the community.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like them little things. It's just like, sure, there's a lot of money being made, but what am I doing to give back? You know, because I told the board of prisoners that I was going to give back. Where does it start? You know, just like everybody has a story. Like I said, some people are worse than others. Like mine, it's worse. Right. You know, I've done that time for the NF. You know, it's just like I brought bodies to the NF. You know, but it's not. It's still. I'm still at the end of my life saying, okay, what am I doing positive?
Right.
You know, so you got to do things positive today.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%, and I don't have that resume right by a mile, but I came home and kind of got in the same mindset of, which I didn't realize was a thing, right? I didn't realize giving back and community work, and I didn't know that shit existed, you know, and I came home and realized that it did, and was like, okay, I never really thought that I could be a help to anybody. I never thought, you know, I just want to come home, mind my own business, and see how long this experiment of staying out of prison would really last, right? But once I realized it, man, I got pulled in to that, you know, to that giving back and that finding ways to help, and it makes a difference. And there's a saying of a credible messenger in that work, and you guys both are insanely credible messengers. Yeah. Because of the life that you live, you know.
Yeah, because it's just like a lot of people start talking about us before we even start talking about ourselves. You know, it's just like because I didn't speak for myself, you know, because I already had a reputation out there, you know, and it was in the history books. It wasn't until recently that I brought that back up. You know, it's just because I did that on my own. Or else it would have just been there, you know, and nobody would have, you know, heard from me or anything, you know. So it's just like I chose to bring that back up, you know. I chose, you know, say, okay, you know, Box, me and you can, you know, start something that help out kids, or, you know, make something happen on this channel. You know, so just like, and that's what I want to do, you know, Box wants to do.
Yeah.
You know? Like, and you know, it's just like, you know, because I like your conversation. I like I said, your content, everything like that. So, you know,
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Because, like I said, I even barely started listening to these channels, you know, and I only subscribed to I think 2 of them. You know, and it's just like, and I didn't subscribe to them till recently. So I've been in and out of these channels for a year now. You know, just checking them out in the cuts, you know. So just like I'll listen to, like yesterday, I listened to the whole conversation you guys had. I didn't come in till the end. You know, I came in till the end, like, hey, what's up? I had a little comment right there.
Yeah.
So I didn't come into the end because I noticed on a lot of these channels I'm getting on now, and I comment, and a lot of people are like, they're on me. Hey,
people see it.
You know,
and
they're asking me questions. They're answering me questions, but I don't want to take away from the content. And like, you know, I want to say with your content, and, you know, hey, go to the content.
Right.
Hit the like button. You know, it's just like everybody hit the like button.
No, and I appreciate that, and it's a trip, man. Like you know, for me, from both you and Box, those are the compliments that mean more. You know, like in a previous life, right? I would have welcomed compliments from you guys in a whole nother regard, right? Because of the status thing and everything else, and yet now here, it's those are the things that have value, right? Um, and that's what I try to share with other folks too. This you know, that's where the whole homie thing comes from, right? Is there's more than one way to be a homie. There's more than one way to look out for each other, and what are we really doing? What are your homies doing, right? What influence are they having on you? There's always going to be shooters. There's always going to be hitters. If you want to be about that life, there's always going to be a bed for you, right? Like it's that's an easy path, right? If that's the route you want to go. But A, not everybody's built for that, and B, nobody should be built for that.
Yeah.
You know? And I hear people like, oh, you ain't built for this, I'm built for that, I'm built for that. What are you bragging about, Holmes? Like none of us should be built for that shit. Right? Now, when it happens, it happens. You go there, that's fine. But again, you can't go buy a house because you ran a regiment. You know what I mean? You can't go get a car loan because you're with the business, right? It's so when your kid's walking across the stage graduating, you don't get Father of the Year because of your status. You know what I mean? That shit don't mean none to them.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's
a you know, it's a game that, you know, you have to put your all into. Mm-hmm. It's tiring. It's tiring as hell. You know, it's just like, and I still had the repercussions after, you know, I dropped out. Sure. I still had, you know, it was tiring for me. You know, getting that life sentence was tiring.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, and it went beyond what I put in while I was still active. It went beyond that because I had a life sentence to now do. You know, and it's just like, I'm like, okay, this is called giving up your life for the NF. And it's just like, and a lot of people don't see that. You know, it goes on beyond just a crime. You're giving your life up.
You know, actually, you said something interesting. You say a lot of these, you know, all you guys, but something that stuck out about what you just said, giving your life for the NF, right? And I think this is true for boxers. I don't mean to talk about you boxers if you're not sitting there, right? But is from what I hear from both you guys, like even by you still gave your life for the NF. Your status within the NF is shot. But because of what you did give, right? And for Jerry, right? Like you're not running around carrying that banner anymore. Well, here you are all these years later. You're out of prison. You did your life sentence, everything else, but you're still left with the scars of being in that lifestyle, right? Definitely. You're still left with the scars of the 90s, the scars of the 80s, right? Boxers still left with the scars of all those years. So sure, you know, folks can make choices. I think, and I thought this way. So I'm sure other people have it, you know, in the chat or in the past or whatever, like, okay, when you go to the other side, however that happens, right? Then it's over, right? It's over for you. Like it's a light switch that you flip off and on. You know what I mean? Oh, you used to be a light and you shut the light off. So that's it. And while somebody's status may be that simple to play with, the mind and the emotions and the memories and the values and the priorities and shit don't get shut off that easy. I mean, that's what I've learned from you guys, right? And it makes sense to me in my older years now because I still wrestle with behaviors and thought patterns and shit from, you know, from childhood, right?
Yeah.
But so you guys, you really did still give your life to the NF. You're not running around with the NF now.
Yeah.
But for the rest of your life, you are left with the consequences of that commitment that you made.
Yeah.
And it goes way beyond fucking what's your status, or do people like you, or can you go here safely, or whatever. That's what I always hear from you guys is that's the little shit. That's the irrelevant stuff. The more relevant stuff is who you live with today, right? Like no matter where you go, there you are.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the inner demons to you know, box your stuff.
It is. Like when they said inner demons, I was like, damn, I got a lot of those.
And that's
yeah,
and that's
I
what
know.
folks need to realize is folks need to realize it's not a game you necessarily get in and out of. You can get out of the game with that shit that you do and the stuff you experience and the stuff that you see. You don't get to drop out of that.
No.
Right? You don't get to retire from that. You don't get to hang that up. It's
a lifetime.
Yeah. And
that's the thing, is just like a lot of people aren't willing to give that up. They're sitting there gangbanging, thinking it's all fun and games, go put work in, whatever. It's just like, just because you kick it with a bunch of dudes, kick it with a bunch of crowd wearing red, that doesn't make you a gangster.
Right.
Just because you're listening to rap music or go kick it and go pick up on girls with a certain amount of crowd, that doesn't make you a gangster. Just because you hold a gun in your hand and go point it to somebody doesn't make you a gangster. Just because you go out there and shoot somebody doesn't make you a gangster. What are you going to do after the fact? Are you going to sit there and do the time after the fact? Because the time's going to come. It's just like, regardless, the time's going to be there. There's no ifs and buts about it. I didn't PC up in the back of a police car. I took it. I was just like, I'm a die in prison. I already know. They have too many things on me. I'm gonna die in prison. And I accepted that fact before I even got busted. I accepted that fact. So I was just like, I already knew, because they ain't gonna let somebody like me out, because I'm a menace. And it's just like, I deserve to be in prison for the rest of my life. I did, with my thinking, with the way I act, because I had inner demons in my head. Just like, I wasn't the craziest dude out in the street, but I was crazy. It's just like, and that's the thing. It's just like, you have to live with yourself after that. Yeah. You have to live with yourself after being crazy all them years. And are you still crazy to a certain extent?
Sure.
You could be crazier, but you don't choose to live that life no more. You don't choose to fight. You don't choose to. I'm done. Just like, I'm done hurting people. I don't want to do that.
All right, Mr. Lopez. Have a good night, homie.
Yeah, I'm about 10 minutes. About 10 minutes, I'm gonna shut it down. Yeah, I love it. We could do this on a regular basis, like
Yeah, I'll let you. Hey, you quarterback, Jerry. I know you got other obligations, man. So whatever days. I don't know if you want to set days or if there's days that you just want to kind of play it by ear. What days you want to do it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Just like
yeah, we can do that, homeboy.
Run it on. I may not be around that often, but I will certainly.
I'm down with it.
I'm in the fan club, but
yeah, just
we got a lot to talk about, man.
Like this session went for 3 hours 11. 3 hours and 11. That's
right, huh?
And that's what before you came on, Josh, I was like, how do you fit 30 plus years of craziness into 3 hours? You can't. There's no way. Because there's a lot of stuff that I haven't even put out there. It's just like, and I will eventually get to that, but it's just like, there's a lot of ins and outs of prison. There's a lot of like weaponry. There's a lot of stuff that we don't put out there. As far as what we learn in prison, as far as what are your vital points? Those are schooling tactics that people don't even get at. It's just like seeing Box make his little National Geographic for educational purposes. But I used to tell
Big Bad 209.
I used to tell CEOs all the time, hey, give me a National Geographic.
Right.
those are the thickest ones. It's just like but that's what you learn in there. And you're proud of yourself. It's strange. You're proud of yourself after you make a nice, cool balance. Like, damn, I made that.
Right. Oh, especially if you have a celly, the little bragging rights and shit.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're buying better than yours.
Right. Let me stab the mattress. You stab the mattress. Let's see. Look,
hey, remember Jerry? Back in the days when like back in the 90s, early 90s, when we used to do weaponry, the difference between weaponry today and back then, and we used to do everything from tomahawks to bombs,
Zip guns,
all kind of
crossbows.
Yeah, we never got that.
Yeah.
Now it's just tomahawks and mostly just tomahawks. They don't even got
They got zip guns.
they don't even have like fire, bro, to burn shit. Lighters.
Dude, you have to you have to use ingenuity as far as
it's just a loose razor.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They took the lighters off the yard, and half the people forgot how to make a weapon all of a sudden. No, we learned paper, plastic, right? Sharpening metal.
No crossbows, zip guns, nothing.
I didn't learn a crossbow until Corcoran. I learned a crossbow with Carlitos, and it was more just like he was talking about different weapons that were used up there, and we're like, oh, okay, fuck it, and so he showed me how to make that, and then I made one in the bay to see, to see, and but no, nothing, bombs, no. I heard about them. I was never taught how to make them. Zip guns.
He got hit with one.
Right. No, I heard. It's zip guns.
Bomb and a zip gun is bomb and a zip gun is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same thing, but one's open ended. So it's just like, but you used to have to go through a schematic. You used to have to redraw the schematic. Once the schematic came to you, telling you how to break it down, you would have to redraw that and then give it back to the person instead of, some people would make it, some people would, if you had enough time, but you would have to redraw it to familiar yourself with it. If you didn't have the material, of course, you're not going to be able to make a bomb or anything, but at least you have that schematic in your head, where, I can redraw this and keep redrawing it and, till you have it in your head, okay, I drew it enough where I can make it.
So schooling it sounds like a very similar schooling as the on paper schooling, right? Like the teaching, you know what I mean? Bonds, formats, that kind of stuff, right? And
that's why I'm surprised.
Break it down, send it back, make sure that you fully understand it. So they're doing the same thing with weaponry, huh?
Yeah, but I don't know why they didn't teach you guys this. I mean, there's nothing like on hands-on. There's nothing like hands-on. You got to have hands-on. Right. So wherever you're going and getting the material, get that material and get the hands-on. But it's just like, but I'm surprised they didn't teach you through paper, because that was what we were taught is, learn through paper until you have that material to make one, or make a zip gun, make a bomb, make a crossbow, make a blow dart, just like, and you make some serious weapons in there, serious weapons. But back then we had all the material. We had a lot of material.
See, and we had
that's true.
And in the early part of my time, right, we had boxer was born with a knife. We had we had lighters, right? Yeah. And so there's a lot of magic you could make happen.
There you go, Dan.
With just a lighter. But shit, I didn't even learn how like to make stingers and to to get fire from places other than a lighter. I never learned that until Salinas Valley, when I was in the hole the second time after I was already validated. I started getting some game on that just to get spark and fire. And then I learned how to make an actual stinger when I went to Corcoran with Carlitos. So the time before that was never even a part of, we weren't teaching that. Right. Yeah. I mean, at least where I was, I don't want to say it wasn't being taught anywhere, of course, but in my journey, I never ran across that stuff. And I was doing a lot of the teaching, right? Yeah. So like if I didn't know it, obviously I couldn't teach it.
Oh, hell no. You don't want to hit somebody with the wrong thing. You end up with bombing yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
So, But yeah, that's a trip. That thinking about it now,
Yeah, I guess I was glad that I was taught the right way. I was glad I was taught the right way, because being taught the right way helped me
Yeah.
you know, get that schooling down the road, where it's just like I had that tier training, and I held down a tier, so it's just like I was overall on a tier, so I know, what to school other people, and it made the day pass by quick, because you're giving out uh, classes in session, and I'm a grade you on how well you're doing. If you need work, I'm gonna work with you on that. Because I want to make the most powerful soldiers I could.
Right.
And my name's behind that. If I'm gonna pull you on, my name's behind that. And I wanna be able to say, okay, who pulled you? And man, and yeah, more smarts than me.
Right.
So it's just like I want to build that soldier up.
It's funny, actually. It shows how much things had changed, right?
Yeah.
Because I not in terms of pulling people and status, but in terms of schooling, I wanted for if you went somewhere and they were like, "Hey, who taught you?" Right? And you said, "Oh, Rascal," right? Then I wanted that to mean something, not as a feather in my cap, but in the sense of like, you didn't come hang out with me and become a dummy. You know what I mean? And I'm doing the best I can with what I have, right? So but like you talk about, hey, like holding down a tier and this and that. Your level of schooling at those stages is light years past what I ever got behind the wall, right? And I was having the keys on a level 4 yard, right? Which I don't say that to boast, but just saying people are listening, and the difference in our knowledge, the difference in what we were schooled on, the difference in what was invested in you early in your career, right? As an hermano, you know what I mean? As a bro, versus what hermanos were running around with, and what, not that I was the most educated bro running around during my time, I'm not saying that, but just cats were put in positions to have greater levels of authority with far less knowledge, as time went on. You know what I mean? So
I think that's why the NR was so powerful, I should say, because it's just like it educated you, and there was a sense of pride. There was a sense of pride because you knew what you read, you knew what you were about, you knew you had that schooling, you knew you could go to any pinta and be overall. You knew that, and just by your schooling. So as soon as you drove up that pinta, you automatically, hey, here's the keys. You got more schooling than me, and homeboys are not afraid to give you the keys because they don't want to look stupid.
right.
It's just like because they don't want, because they don't have that much schooling. So of course they're going to give somebody else who has schooling. So it's just like some people didn't want to give up that schooling. Give up that status. Oh hell no, I'm never going to give up that status. I'm the overall. Okay, what are you teaching?
No, when homeboys came over, when I had the keys in Salinas and some homeboys came over from the 180 side, right? And I was so happy. I was the only hermano there, right? And so they come over, and I'm like, cool. You know what I mean? Like it's what was I don't know, 22, 23, somewhere around there, right? Maybe a little younger, 21, 22. I got limited mainline experience. I can say comfortably that I was well schooled in terms of like bonds format, that kind of, the writing, that sort of thing. But just life experience behind the wall, right? It was fairly limited, right? And So I'm kind of flying off. Hey, I'm trying to just basically use common sense. I'm trying to use the schooling that I have to inform these decisions, but I haven't sat down for a long time with a whole lot of folks that have poured a whole lot. I'm just trying to put the pieces together with what I have. So I was happy, like, hey, it's you. And they're like, nah, fool, you're doing a good job. You know? And
Yeah.
I was like, no, they're like, nah, you're doing well, right? Just the ship is floating. Like, this is cool. And they kind of advised, right? And I wound up leaving shortly after that, going to Vacaville, getting surgery, getting validated, and the show was over anyways. But I was always hoping for somebody else to come along that knew more, you know? But that's not how it was working. It was all a matter of who you happen to come across and where you were. And even in the hole, when I was in the hole in Salinas, there was a handful of hermanos there. You know what I mean? It's just a level 4 yard coming from the 180 and the 270. There was a handful of hermanos. And there was some schooling, but the schooling wasn't challenging.
Yeah.
I didn't find the schooling challenging. And I'm not a fucking rocket science, bro. Like, I can read and I can write, but there's no reason that I shouldn't have been challenged.
Yeah.
You know, there had to be something. That was always my thing, is there has to be something more. Okay, cool. Now this is challenging. Let me digest this and chew on this and really come to get this. Okay, what else is there? And there just wasn't environments in the general population. There wasn't many where that appetite, which a lot of people had, could be filled. So I don't know, man. I'm lightweight rambling, but it's interesting to see your experience as a hermano in the 80s, you know, and 90s versus what it was to be a hermano in the mid and late 90s.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's man, very true, familia, very true.
Yeah.
And that's what I never wanted. That was my ambition. My ambition was to not be that, right? Was, if I'm gonna do this, I want to know all there is to know.
All right,
not
hey,
because I want to be a badass, but I want to be helpful, and I want to empower the homies, and I want to make sure we're doing this shit right. You know what I mean?
That's what it says. Some of the homies ran the yard with lenchos.
Hey, so, hey, Jerry. So when do you want to
we can do it again Monday. We can do it again
Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
Around the same time, 6:30, 7
yeah,
o'clock.
6:30. Yeah, 6:30. Don't let the dog eat up your homework.
I'm trying to figure something else out, man.
All right, Sandman. Sandman's still here?
Yeah, Sandman's still doing his thing. He's gonna release Inner Demons. For those of you that have been asking about it, it'll be coming out as soon as we're done right here.
Yeah, Josh, it was good meeting you, man.
Likewise, brother. Likewise.
Yeah, he'll be coming back on with us all the time, Jerry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whenever I'm on your channel, just
Yeah, I'm around.
Yeah.
Soon as you get a portrait or something to show, to put up, these guys want to see a portrait, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I got. Maybe I'll put in like those sections. They can follow me on drawing. Follow it on drawing. Maybe I'll start with tomorrow. I'll start something tomorrow and then do it in sections. That way people can see how I do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, AC. Yeah, it's coming out right now. You guys want to keep going? You want to shut it down?
Yeah, I'm
good, bro.
Yeah, I'm tired too, man. Hey, you guys, man, we appreciate all you guys that supported us, man. It was get up to 300, almost 350 people in there at one time, man. The support is appreciated, man. We're gonna keep doing this. Try to get Josh on there as much as we can, man. It's good dialogue, man. You know what I mean? I think we kind of open each other up. But Jerry, you know what I mean? Welcome to DMN, boy. It's a good edition, man. We got a lot to talk about, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll get with you afterwards, man. There's something else I want to holler at you about. I'll shoot you a text. I know it's late, man, but there's almost 350 of you in there, so I'm not even gonna do the roll call, man. I'm just gonna say, hey, I appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. You got more phone calls coming out too from calls from behind the walls. We're gonna run another Q&A, so you guys got any questions, drop them in the comment section. We'll get them, man. Put them in the community.
Yeah. All right,
Sandman. Yeah, Sandman's gonna be running panels on the other channel, Paradigm Entertainment Productions. I'm gonna keep running the Inner Demons. I'm gonna try to show some consistency with them, man. But I'm spread thin, trying to create other content, so I'll get them out as much as I can. Other than that, one last thing, man. For those of you that didn't hear this earlier, Reels TV is going to be running a segment on Baby Joker. It's going to be coming out on June 22nd. I'm not sure what time, but it's on a show, something like America's Gangsters, The Most Evil, or something like that.
Oh, it's on the TV. It's not like Reels on YouTube.
It's going to be coming on Reels TV on June 22nd. You know what? Hold on. I'll tell you guys for sure because I got it right there.
Fucking TV star BJ. He's going to have a third career, right?
Yeah.
So here it is right here. Put it up here so you guys can see. If you can read it. It's Gangsters, America's Most Evil.
All right.
And it says Baby Joker Oscar Cabrera. Cabrera's criminal history dates back to his youth in Santa Cruz, California area. It says first aired on June 21st, 2022. It's an hour Reels TV. So you guys might want to check that out, man. I'm going to get Baby Joker to come on and talk right after this airs. I'll probably have him come on before that. I'll try to reach out to him this week, man, on through JPay. See if I can shoot him an email.
Yeah, so you gotta get Reels. I'm looking at how to do it right now. So Reels is the latest and greatest, might already be a part of your existing cable, satellite, or streaming TV. So it's on Dish TV, channel 299, Direct TV 238, Xfinity 1429, and then Sling and Philo. I don't know what Philo is, but so
that's another streaming.
Yeah, and then if you have a Fire TV or Amazon Prime or Roku, then you can watch Reels TV, but you can't watch it live. You can only watch it on Fire Stick and Amazon and Roku. You can only watch it after it's aired.
Okay. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. I just barely found out about that episode. Somebody shouted to me on IG, man. So
yeah, I'll answer all you guys on Instagram tomorrow. There are a lot of
hey, have fun, boy.
Yeah,
have fun. Sometimes I gotta dedicate a whole day just to answer. Yeah, man.
I see everybody like, damn.
It's gonna get better than that. Why?
Yeah,
get 1,000 of them, boy.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
Hey, but again, man, we appreciate you guys. I see all you guys, what you're saying in the comments, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it too.
Yeah, all the love,
appreciate
man.
You guys, man.
That's right.
Thank you.
Go Warriors, man.
Shut
it down. We'll probably be back.
Yeah.
Probably be back tomorrow, man. Or I know Sandman will be back. We'll be back as soon as I drop some more content.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everybody.
Yeah, there you go, man. Happy Father's Day to everybody, man. Everybody that's a dad out there, man. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah,
sure.
A quick plug for Father's Day. So for those of you guys that seen DJ See No Evil, the blind DJ that I interviewed on my channel, on Father's Day, he wants to do basically like an oldies dedication live in the evening. It's going to be dedicated to all the incarcerated fathers. He's got some classic hits of music made in jail, songs that you know, but the intros to those songs are dudes talking about their stories in prison. And so I'll post a little bit more about it on the community, but Sunday night, hopefully you're spending time with your kids. I'm not going to be able to because we got COVID in the house. And so I said, fuck it, we'll just run it on mine in the evening. So come on, enjoy some music. And there'll be some guests and shit popping in. Obviously, you guys are always invited. But But yeah, Sunday night for Father's Day. That reminded me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
OG,
All right.
triple OG. All right, you guys. I'm out,
All right,
man. You guys have a good night, man.
Me too.
Hey,
Me too.
bless
Enjoy
you.
your weekend.
Stay blessed. Stay blessed.
That's right.
All right.
Look like-
Okay.